Welcome, guys. Hello. Yeah, what are people talking about in chat here? It's very strange to me. Oh, good, I'm muted. Perfect. I'm already auto-muted. There's going to be no echo. Yeah, what's this? You said you've watched every single VOD, and he's been doing it since September 2015 when I started. Oh, you're just saying that's when I started streaming in 2K15? At the end of that year-ish, sort of. Yeah, I guess I have been. I guess that's a while now, isn't it? Hello, Lily, 1855. Hey, Drasser, welcome. Mr. Odres. Odres says, hey, WP, we're talking about how it feels being mostly VOD-only fans, because when we always want to catch up before looking live. Yeah, I've experienced a little bit of that as well with some streamers that I watch. Where I'll go to the VOD and it's like, you want to interact. Like, Twitch allows you to leave comments on VODs now, doesn't it? But it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It doesn't help in any way. I doubt a streamer would ever go... Like, if anyone ever leaves a comment on a VOD of mine, I would never, ever see that. I have no real way for it to be notified about it, and... It feels like with a YouTube's very strange, because you could do an hour-long YouTube video and get, you know, 500 comments on it. And if you did an hour-long Twitch stream, you'd have like 6,000 comments on it, you know. But of the 6,000 Twitch comments, almost none of them are going to be interesting to look at in a vacuum. But of the 500 YouTube ones, they'll all be interpretable and all be readable, and at the very least they'll reference like... So it would be kind of strange, I don't know. Like, look at Dosty's comment there, tomorrow is the day. Can you imagine that as a YouTube comment? It's just like, it's nonsense, it's gobbledygook. So Twitch is kind of like just a constant barrage of just very almost impossible to appreciate post moment. I mean, I would appreciate that later. But yeah, tomorrow is the day for the big patch, or hopefully, as long as they don't get a delay. Do you remember that didn't episode 1 have a delay? A slight one? I don't remember anymore, actually. But yeah, I mean, they had they bought themselves that extra week. Hopefully the extra week is what they needed. It's a funny thing, you know, you guys know me, I really don't like that. Like the little issues, say with Crack in the Ice, that boss just before the final instance, little stuff like that. I really don't like it. It's funny though, because like with this release, the devs seem to have bought themselves a single extra week, and if it's like a perfect release now because they gave themselves the one extra week, it almost frustrates me to see that, if that's indeed what happens. It would frustrate me because it's like, oh, why don't they just take 1 week out of their schedules just to finish off? Like, what I really wanted was after episode 6 for them all to just take a breather and do essentially a Living World release. But nothing new actually comes out. It's just all about revamping those maps, adding to those maps, overhauling weak elements of the story, just like to go back. I think that would be really good for Season 3 if they did that. After episode 6, but obviously they can't, because they got to earn money. They got to get the crunch of the expansion going, and then they got to get the crunch of kicking off a whole new season. So they just kind of do an expanded episode 6. Also, it's a dangerous precedent to set to your development teams that they can put out a flimsy thing that will be patched up later because they know how to have the time. So I guess kind of the hardline stance of saying, this is it, lads, get it done, is probably better in the long run. I don't know, but in a weird way, a part of me wants to see episode 2 has signs of stress on it, because if episode 2 is perfect now, if tomorrow it comes out and it's perfect, I will I'll have like the anti-silver lining. I'll be like, they could just do 1 more week on a Crack in the Ice or whatever, you know. So yeah. The mic is a little distorted and loud. It will be. Sorry. Hold on. Thank you for telling me that so quickly. It will be, because I was just on Skype, and it's Skype that does this. There you go. Thank you for pointing that out. Good ears there, my friend. You've just saved the stream from being horrible low quality for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Alright, I'm logging in game. Chocker says, so is he actually doing the story today, or just 2 hours of PvP and 1 hour of Fashion Wars? We are actually doing the story today. We are going to open with 1 or maybe even 2 PvP games, but then it is all story. I'm going to really embarrass myself here, but I may as well. I tend to be honest when I'm on the internet, so I'll be honest. I'm going to embarrass myself here, guys. You know how I recorded all of the start of the game with you all on the stream, and then I lost it, so I dedicated a whole other stream to recording it again, which I did purely at your like at the cost of your leisure time, really, instead of doing it off stream. Fix the title. What do you mean fix the title? It says Path of Fire story and lore play through the desert Highlands. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. Well, and I recorded it the second time. Last night, I realized I cannot find the footage that I recorded on that second stream anywhere. So I still don't have not Act 1, the first map's worth of stuff. That extra 2 hours we spent on Saturday, I've lost that as well. Or I never had it in the first place. I don't know where it is. So, yeah, I'm not going to force you guys to sit through and watch that, though. I'll just do it off stream. But, yeah, the embarrassment. Oh, it says playthrough, not plate through. Oh, yeah, there is a typo in it. Yeah, all right. Okay, fixing it. Look at that. The R was misplaced. There you go. Hey, maybe it's a dyslexic stream. Maybe I'm trying to get some diversity going by catering to people with dyslexia. Huh? Maybe I'm doing these things to try and be inclusive to my friendly friends across all different forms and walks of life. So maybe it's easy to criticise, but maybe that's what we're supposed to be doing. Cosy says, I wish we'd got more dialogue for the confrontations, specifically for humans who chose him to worship. Yeah, I think that we didn't get enough there, honestly. I actually think that the crew that did Bastion of the Penitent and the crew that did Lake Doric, those guys have more than anyone else in the history of Guild Wars 2 actually done like choices and story path and dialogue divergences based on race and prior decisions better than anyone ever. Lake Doric and Bastion of the Penitent, and those two came out together really close. I don't know what happens. It's like an infection swept through the office around that time, and multiple different devs just like it clicked and they realized how to do it. And then it just went away again. So I don't know. It didn't go away. All right, I'm being a bit rude. It didn't go away, but it was really good. It was top at that point, and then it just sort of disappeared. So yeah, we're going to play like one game, and then we're going to bugger off. Queues were neither amazing nor terrible yesterday, so I'm pretty much where I was before. You get +6s, you get -19s. I had to fight extremely hard for this +6. This +6, there's a game of the day on Wooden Potatoes 2 right now. Game of the day 10, okay? There is a game of the day that took me 40 minutes of play-by-play and breakdown and analysis to discuss and extract why it was such a good game. It was an extremely grueling game. We had to make a lot of plays and be like almost perfect, except for a mess up at the start, to actually score a win here, right? It was a really difficult game. So in that sense, the matchmaking was amazing. But because it was a game that was match-made with a couple of really good players on either side, but also mostly terrible players on both sides, I had to fight extremely hard for a +6. This is one of the hardest games I've played in all of Season 10. And I had to do so much to stop us losing. Look at this. It was 504 to 473 in the end. And it took me 40 minutes to explain it to people. It was only like a 10-minute game. 40 minutes of discussion out of a 10-minute game. Every 1 minute of action had 4 minutes of discussion. Okay? And I got +6 from it. That's what queuing out off-peak means, guys. And if I'd lost that, that would have been like a -20. So, yeah, I stopped queuing after that. I had fun. It was, the fun is really a big part of this for me, so that's fine, but very, very difficult. If I hadn't lost these couple of, really grueling losses, if I hadn't lost these, this one we were close to winning as well. If we hadn't lost these, we'd be like Plat 3 right now. Easy, probably top 15, something like that, but we did lose. We lost 3 games, so we don't get to be on the leaderboard. Anyway, so yeah, we'll do the PvP on the open, then I'm going to go get some coffee and we'll intro it in, and we'll be all PvE the whole way. How do you get rank points? Is that a formula? How do you get MMR, you mean? Don't forget, rank points are actually like your leveling up system in PvP. These are rank points at the bottom of the stream. Can you see this? 372. I'm level 372 in PvP, right? This acts as leveling. These are rank points that you get. This is just MMR, right? This is like our skill rating, right? And this is represented by our personal skill as calculated by the game, okay? How do I get this? Basically, the game's trying to decide if you're too high or too low based on your wins and losses. And depending on the rating of everyone else who gets in the queue, You know, so if I queue into a game with a ton of super low rated people, I'll get like nothing for the win, but I'll lose a lot if I lose, because the game's basically saying, oh, these people are all crap, you should definitely win this. And then if I defy expectation and win, they're like, all right, we'll give you a little something, but we really don't want to give you much. If I lose, then they drag me right down, because it's trying to balance everyone to a threshold. So we'll see how this game goes. Member of the Spud Club on the opposite team, always good to see, always enjoyable. Love it when you Spuds get in here. Hopefully that answers that for you there, Fishy. If we could genetically modify potatoes to only have coffee in it, we might have the perfect food. Yeah, because potato is like super nutritional. So it's an all-rounder. If I ever got good at variety gaming coverage, I could totally use that as a hook. It'd be great. Thanks very much for the sub, Jeff Chafer. It's great to see you, dude. Thank you so much. You really enjoy Game of the Day episodes I put out. Really appreciate your effort to explain every little thought that goes into your plays. I'm glad. Actually, today I was playing some mind games. On the Game of the Day 10, on the Temple game that I got the +6 from, I was playing some mind games with a chrono at stillness. And I swear it just looks like I forgot about the stillness buff. And I'm like, oh my god, what a legend. We can blast this. This is good then. I actually kind of want that for later, but that's fine. Let's push with him. I don't really know what target I want. What is he? He's with Bassy Venom. Should we go for Fracturing Strike? Oh, he's going to be support. I've seen him playing support on that class before. That's the Fracturing Strike burst. That's not actually any of our bursts, but we put him to... Alright, he's renewing focus. I'm going to die. These are moves. No, this is way too bad. Is he a Firebrand? Don't really know. Horrible mid-fight. I think we've probably lost this.
The keep's been lost.
That was like really bad. So we can't really play for that. I should have left. I shouldn't have been stood there the whole time. We got absolutely wrecked. Whoever capped our close zerged off. Thief went for decap. Hold on, let's give you big mini-map, shall we? Big mini-map. Boom. We're having overlays. Oh god, I just turned off chat. Sorry, guys. Thanks very much to Nuzak for the sub there. Who was it that crossed? Thief? They're taking our boss? Did we get the steal? No, we didn't get steal. We almost got double boss, though. I'm playing really passively. This guy is not a fire... he is a firebrand. He's just not a scary firebrand. This guy's spamming headshots. We take the Obsy Flesh. We jump onto this. He's dead. We swirl because he... What the hell? Why am I burning so hard? What happened to my guy? What? Why are there two of them on close? What are you guys doing? We had an opportunity here. We had a downstate. He can pick me up from there. That's good. It's a bit of a waste, though. Terrible idea, really. He's just getting himself... I can't believe two of them walked back to the node for no reason. I had three of them here, and we had one of them down. I'm not convinced at all by my team. Like, at all. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it will be a little bit better. BDO starts. Sorry, BDO sucks. Does it really? Oh, you guys have double audio. Let me turn that off. Oh. I actually have to get my head in this game. I'm looking at the stream too much. Why are we saying BDO sucks? So, Tempest. This thief we should be able to kill. I don't even think he was looking at me, which is hilarious. What do we have here? A Sword Weaver. We're actually losing to double Ellie. This guy's got a horrendous rotation. So the thief is still on me, by the way. So we cover the headshot interrupts with the reflects. He's on Bandit's defense. I'm constantly outnumbered. What the fuck is this? 3v1 constantly, and it's the same players. I've got the Spud Club member on me. They did get decap, which is good. He can port to us right now, so we have to be really careful here. We hide up here so we can't counter, but we're going to get cleaved by this. They're so horny for me. They're not actually playing the game. They're just playing, what a potatoes, they're streaming. Yeah, this is bullshit. We dodged the steal really easily. I can't do anything with this, though. Oh, look, I got support from an ally. Look, they're still both on me. Torment is really high. All we can do right now is stand still, and we die. We should have double cap. Please get double cap. Because this is, like, so pathetic.
The keep is yours.
There you go. We did get double cap. Thank you. What was my play there? Maybe the thief can res me. Bandage me, dude. Bandage, bandage, bandage. And you get... Dodge into that. He didn't even dodge into it. Christ almighty. Let's see if he actually gets this. Good job. Well done. Was I telling him to bandage me? I'm the bandage. Jesus Christ. What's he getting cleaved by? Alright, this is good because he's just... No, turn it around on him. Burst him with me. Come on. Come on, bully him. That's it. Good, good, good. Use that short bow. Knock it. Renewed is annoying. We can punish this, though. He's out of position. Little bit of pressure, dude. Get those autos rolling. Lovely jubbly. I walked into the goddamn burning. Thief's on me again. Support Ellie's on me again. They're going for the res. There's 3 of them here. What's happening with my team? The guy died on far.
Your enemy took the mine.
They just have no presence anywhere. Who is this? What is this? I don't even know. I can't even target. This is the Sword Weaver, isn't it? So now I have to just wait for someone to get off their ass and do something. So he can use his sword too to move in. I don't know what I'm looking at here. He's on Primordial stun. Oh, he's on... he popped his elite immediately. That's interesting. He'll use the sword too, so we stun break dodge roll. We're going to go for the Phoenix here. So this will be, it'll look like we're going to kill him and then we're not. I've never actually fought a Condi Weaver in my life, by the way, so... ever. So we're going to hide on the log. I'm being auto-attacked by the Spud Club member.
The keep is
who put weakness on me, so we couldn't burst the guy, so we have to flee again. Getting plussed by a Necro. Constantly, all game. And we've even got this guard us.
I'll do better next time.
Oh, they're going for boss. This could be incredible for me if they let it push forward a little bit. Nah, out of range. Someone said here, you died to a core guard, Wooden Potato? I haven't died in a single 1v1 this game. I've been harassed by... I've been plussed. Every little thing I've done. I've been followed and plussed. This is the worst team I've ever seen. It is a very bad team, to be honest with you. I'm not doing anything here because they're already dying. I actually could kill this thief. Such an easy kill, but whatever. We'll rotate over here. So, he's running quickfire. This is very interesting. Let's see if... He doesn't even have Aegis. Oh, he gained Aegis right as I looked at him.
Your enemy took the mine.
So his... What is he running? Okay, I've got lots of burning on me here. We have to cleanse this. So, he's actually a Condi... This is really weird. What are the builds we're fighting against? I have a feeling... I might be wrong. But I have a feeling I'm going to lose a lot of rating for this one. He can't even stun break. He can't even stun break. Jesus Christ. Alright. Look, guys, we didn't get jumped by a Necro in the middle of our gameplay. Whoa! Oh, he didn't say core. He said CL. He's hating on that guild. I don't know why. Alright. Well, anyway.
You've taken the mine.
Let's kill that. And see who aggresses here. Oh, this is good. This is good. We gale in with the blink. Oh my god, that must have been like 950. He barriered. Where's my thief is dead again. This thief could have easily taken this with us. We were out of range. That was me being a little bit greedy. By the way, me leaving fire isn't very bad. When your team's terrible and dying constantly, none of the enemies can be on respawn. So leaving fire isn't bad. You got to actually make some plays. So I'm alone again because that guy's dead. They're just dying constantly. Thief is fleeing from me. He's going to plus this. We're outnumbering this, but I'm happy to take this. Let's see what he does. We come up to the no line of sight areas. He's out of mobility. He can evade, but he's dead.
The chieftain has returned.
We want to take some momentum somewhere, really. Look at this. Oh my god, how did I double tap? When I'm streaming, I double tap. This is really bad. Oh, good, 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 good. They're taking the res instead of killing me. Good. We can kill this guy now.
You've seized the head.
Oh, he's still alive. One hit. One more hit. Twist of fate. This is really bad. I'm hurt. I'm hit hard. We take this for a potential rally. Alright, we don't need it. We have to... So if we want to win this game at this point... No, we can't. We lost because of bosses. I'll go one more because that was horrendous and like I had no opportunity to do anything at all. I wonder what was going on there. By the time you have enough CP to participate in tier 1 battles and noble wars, your guild is definitely a viable one. Which game are we talking about here? Which game has CP? I'm not sure. He's running the old PvE grieving build. Did we just die to a grieve? We died to a Condi firebrand, of which I've never seen one. That was a quick fire. Actually, what did I lose for that game? 17. Yeah, that's actually not so bad. Like, it's usually right, but Jesus. And we also lost to a Condi Weaver. Jesus. Mr. Orjo says, I started playing Fresh Air Weaver recently, and I can relate to this game. Yeah, it's definitely a build where if you've got nothing, if your team's really all out, unfortunately, you're sort of not going to be able to do anything. If they can just stagger you enough to have 2 people sit on you, once they get map control, if they can easily farm one of your guys, they can just stick 2 people on you and win the game because they already have map control, and they need to do is sustain that map control. And that's kind of what you saw there. Particularly the first half of the game after they won the opening mid and stuff. I will admit, I played badly at that opening mid. I died for absolutely no reason. But if at any point I got any leeway, if I wasn't pressured for a moment, I was able to actually do stuff. But yeah. What else we got here? Does PvP match across EU or NA, or are they separate? They're separate because of ping. Some people will really whine about this 124 ping or plus. Some people experience like 170 going across the Atlantic Ocean. So they let the EU people queue in EU areas. So your skills will actually feel instant and good on EU because you'll get like 30 ping or less if you live in EU. And same for a lot of NA regions and territories. I've always been okay playing across though. I don't deny it does sometimes affect my gameplay, but I'm used to it, and it would just be annoying to constantly swap. That said, Season 11, I might actually play EU. I might try to be better at the game and go for EU. I might play EU to drop my ping. I might turn off... So Reshade, people don't know, but Reshade actually adds a even if it's toggled off, as long as you're hooking through the D3D9.dll, it actually adds like 1 to 2 ms of screen delay. So I might turn Reshade off completely and just have vanilla Guild Wars 2 running, and yeah, I might try and just reduce all forms of latency as much as possible, so dodge rolling is like the easiest thing in the world. So all those little things that stack up no longer stack up, you know? Do I have the new focus? I do. You're looking at it, man. You're looking at it. So that's the binding of Ippos. I've actually got Meteorologicus on as well. I don't really know how I feel about Meteorologicus on Scepter, really, because it changes all your animations. So it changes these, it changes the hurl to that, it changes the Phoenix as well, which is like a really striking animation. It changes it to this. It feels pretty cool when you blow tons of people up with the Phoenix that looks like that. But so yeah, I don't know. Plus, it's just a really big clunky weapon that I think that this is quite smooth. And the binding of Ippos when you're sheathed looks small, so, but this is big even when it's in your pocket. So, ladies, I don't know.
Elements of wind, heed me.
Play it a bit longer and you will realise what I meant earlier. What are you talking about? Shunop or whatever. Oh, you're talking about BDO, are you? The grind experience in BDO is actually enjoyable coming from someone who doesn't usually enjoy it. I do believe in enjoyable grind. I think that enjoyable grind exists. I think that there's no shame in being a human being that sometimes just wants to relax and do something mindless that feels productive. I think that, you know, that's a way to spend leisure time. And if you want to do that, if you want to combine that with some form of escapism by being in the magical world of Black Desert Online or RuneScape, and you're acclimated to the graphics and whatever of that point, it doesn't matter. I think that, you know, there's no shame in saying you enjoy a bit of grind. There's no shame in tackling a challenge that is purely a time gate challenge. There's no more shame in it than someone who builds a giant tower out of dominoes and actually, you know, knocks them down for the fun of it later or whatever. I think it's fine, and I've personally enjoyed it. I've enjoyed enjoyable grind before. I also think that chasing this like idea that the only good thing in a game should be a skill-based thing and time sync-based things are terrible and it has to be skill, always skill. I sort of think of that as a very adolescent, like juvenile, like limited perspective on what enjoyment actually can be. I tend to think when people say that, they're like late teens, early 20s, or they get stuck in their mindsets of the late teens, and they think that they've, like, come to, like, the most noble of ways to enjoy their leisure time, and it has to be ultimate skill all the time. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be competitive or go for more skillful stuff, but at the same time, I would never bag on someone who just wants to chill out fishing in MapleStory, because at the end of the day, there's something to enjoy about that too. I think the best games have a mix, and I think Guild Wars 2 has a mix. I love to say juvenile and adolescent. Yeah, because I don't know what the word is. I want to find a word that has, like, no negative connotations, that essentially represents the idea that they have ill-formed opinions. Or ill-formed because they are not mature opinions, ill-formed because they are not fully developed, right? That's what I want to say. But I don't want it to be laden with, like, smug superiority and, like, the sense that I think just because you're older, you're smarter, because I definitely don't think that. I don't want to come off as an asshole when I say that. But I do believe that people can sort of refine what they think and feel when they're early. I think formative opinions aren't often the correct impulses, personally. I don't know, maybe that's something that you guys disagree with. That's what I want to say. That's what I'm trying to get at. And adolescent is one of the only words I can sort of think. It doesn't even hit it, does it? Juvenile definitely doesn't. I just don't know what that word is. What's up, Roy? It's good to see. That was miserable in Forest, but I'll go again. We'll try again. You're glad you're not the only one that likes running around the map? If I was actually a PvP streamer, I would have a challenge set up to do X in PvE, and it would always be during queues. It would be like walk to every single waypoint interior, and that would be my between queue activity. I think that those streams would be much more entertaining. What you're essentially looking at there was boring as hell. Alright, I don't remember any of the names of anyone I was fighting last game, so we'll just see how this goes. This is why you really like Social Dissonance Shepherd for learning Monster Hunter. He admits there are players without super reflexes, so if you traps, items, strategies to take down monsters that are slower but safe, it's okay and super. Sounds cool. You're right on this. Online, everybody seems to be a pro gamer that is a top player at the game, been discussed, and despises the sheer idea that people could not play any content at the highest difficulty level. I would like to actually see them play. Well, don't forget that when you do participate in online discussion, it does tend towards those of us who take that product a bit more seriously or care more about that product. So the weightings are going to shift in that end. And again, I don't think anybody's really wrong in this discussion. I just think that people limit themselves sometimes. Is that purple hand a weapon? It is, yeah. The purple hand comes from this book, The Binding of Impulse. The book that floats out in front as well. So, Shaman was actually telling me on Twitter, this is not New Crichton. This is like a rune set, a glyph set that we haven't seen before. And the pages as well. It could be translatable, but we don't know what it says. There's a bug in Guild Wars. I wonder if you can still do it, where it's like a log in, log out bug that gives you your weapons in first person. I can't remember how to do it. If any of my subs can remember how to do it, can you post that link in chat and we'll see. And then we could read from the book in first person, but yeah.
I feel furious.
Bring this one down.
It doesn't hit at it at all. It implies the person has a bad input. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to give the impression that it's bad. That something's bad just because someone's young. The word adolescent is supposed to refer to the opinion itself. It's like the opinion. The impulse is adolescent. It's got nothing to do with the person saying it. That's the idea, anyway. That's what goes through my mind. Like, what is this? What is this? We're in PvE. We're precasting alacrity, ladies. Let's do it. Oh, he's got his... Oh, that was so bad. And I knew that as well. So we'll see how this feels. Oh my god, he hit us like a ton of trucks. This is really bad. Hopefully he aggresses. Who was it that crossed? Hollow. The rifle turret actually really hurts, by the way. So they got ping on Firebrand. We're already dying. I'm looking for the bailout here, by the way. We'll drop a swells just because it might cover someone with something. If the sewage gets too close to us, we're screwed. We've got the SD Hollow on us. He's going to shoot us through the thing. Oh, good. He failed the jump, and he's an Elixir S. We can kill him now. Oh, he got that up already? Really? He's in Hollow too. He's down. He pushed the line so hard as well. He won't get support. We have to stomp it, though, for the rally. This guy didn't even tag it, so really gross, to be honest. It was a team fight at mid, and he didn't even have a tag on the first kill we got. So what he was doing on there, I don't know. We have to bail out of this. I know that we've got respawns trickling in, but in my opinion, this is a mistake. Respawns should be going far. The warning pings are being signed here. Does that mean someone's just standing there? No, it means we get the Hollow again. The Hollow might be really confident fighting us because he hit us so hard earlier. Which is good, because we can play into that. We'll precast Swirls and force him to us in Photon Forge. We'll burst him. He doesn't actually have S up yet, which is kind of annoying. I actually like them running S, because what it does is it gives me reset potential, because they can't pressure me through it. So we wait for the pull, which is there. We blind it with the skill 3. We do Serpentine, but we hold the camera behind, so now he can't attack us during the rot. And we're watching for respawns. He's pulling again. We're going to dodge that because I didn't have a blind. Well, I did actually add the Arcane Blast. So we win sides. We're going to attack him on respawn.
Your enemy took the mine.
Who's this? He's popping mantras. We get in him while he's popping the mantras. He gets the evade. God, I'm not clicking properly here. He's really squishy. Easy kill, but the Hollow's going to push us. That's actually not the Hollow. Did we win mid? How did that mid fight go? This guy's pulling out of mid. We won mid. Nice. Hype. So we blow a few of the Mesmer things. He has to get his mantras and stuff back now. If that guy goes for the fight, I'm pretty happy. Which one is the Mesmer? It's this one over here. Shit, I double tapped fire. I don't know why. I don't know how. The guy that capped close is going to be coming into this fight now. I'm playing bad right now. I should have been helping this guy much quicker and much harder. He's low. He's down. My guy's already dead.
Bring this one down.
He's doing the blood res. He already rallied. My FGS3 didn't work. I got to peel out. Who is that that's still there on my side? Which is that? What class is that? I don't know. We could probably get another kill on the Mesmer. He's in Blood Frenzy. We wait for the dodge after it. He didn't. We kill him. My guy's down again though. We got weakened by the Scourge, so now we can't cleave. Scourge is scared. I could possibly put the Scourge down.
The keep's been lost.
If I can get the Scourge down, we press F for the res, but I have to get the Scourge down now. Look at all the barrier. Absurd. They're going to double rally. No, they didn't double rally. One of the deaths happened a little bit later, so the Mesmer's low now. If we sustain this, we might win the kill here. Oh, the evade chain was really nice there. They have more respawns come in. There's 2 down, but I can't deal with this Hollow as well at the same time. My guy's peeling out. This guy making a gross mistake. Please do something with your life. Push the line. So there's 2 kills over there. My guys might go in and capitalize them. I don't know. I'm going to take the plus on here now because that was a bit miserable. We are starting to regain something here.
The keep is yours.
So Hollow v Warrior. Let's see how many cooldowns he broke. He didn't get 50% Endure Pain. Full counter, I don't care. I'm going to sit in his face if he tries to counter-aggress me. With the Obsi Flesh, he didn't. That's fine. Good timing for... no, it's not good timing for a boss. I want to help this Ranger who's getting bodied on the roads. Mesmer playing bad up here. Second bad play, in my opinion. I don't know why he's standing there. He's scared of the invisible gnomes. He's going to get attacked by at least 3 blue team members. This blue team member's not playing very well either because he's pushing in early and we might be able to just kill him before he gets the support of his friends. He's realised the folly of his ways and he's moved back, so now he's played well. Hollow's going to be on me, so I'm jumping around here because the Hollow's extremely unlikely to make that jump. But now we're what, 2v3? 2 of my guys dead on the roads. This guy went boss, which I just said was a bad play. I don't know what I can do. I'm kind of wasting time here on this tree. But, I mean, he's just going to get destroyed. I can't stop this pain train. I really can't. This is really bad, me standing here, by the way, right now. That dodge was gross. I think I'm dead. Probably. I should be dead. We swell because he's on rifle. We cancel cast his jump shot. He overheated. We get the kill. We can get a sneaky stomp. Have to get the perfect blinds. The Scourge is playing well and he saw. So the Scourge feared me off. Saved his buddy's life. They're pinging random things on the map as though they know what they're doing. Somebody's crossed. It's a warrior. So we can take the plus on the warrior. This is going to take ages though. So if I pull the warrior over here, the Mesmer gets decap. Oh, he saw the Mesmer coming in. No, he didn't.
Bring this one down.
We take the plasma beam in the well. Firebrand's moving in as well. This is such a dim engagement for me. I want to plus it. I don't want to be there at the start of the fight. So let's see how well our Mesmer can 2v1 that. He needs to kite around the nodes. If he can pull 2 of them out of the game for a while, we'll re-win our double cap here at mid. So Power Mesmer's the best target. Interrupted. Oh, I don't have Phoenix up. Shit.
The keep's been
I'm still
lost.
used to Core Fresh Air, where you can sometimes drop the cooldown on that. Good kill here. Double kill. We take the decap now. This guy pushes off too slow. He thinks the node is everything. Beautiful. What a terrible play from him there. He falls off. Rocket Boots actually gets him on a lot quicker. He's Elixir S, so he can't stall the cap anyway. They're holding it, which is good. Infinite range kill. Ready? Ah, never mind. Obstructed. Plasma beam kill. That's fine. All right, we have double cap. Mesmer did perfect. Now the Mesmer just leaves. Or just holds it there. Just be careful, though. He's now 3v1. Mesmer, well done. You played well. That was a good play, except that he died there.
I feel furious.
So now we're on intercept.
The keep is yours.
We're not actually looking for any kind of fight over there. Scourge is moving in. Rev is pushing the line at the right time this time as well. They're freaking out, but they don't realize what we're doing. This is the mid-fight.
Attack my target.
These warning pings are totally unnecessary. Scourge is just going to chase me. I don't mind if he chases me all the way around. This is bad, actually. Does the Scourge keep chasing me? No, he doesn't. We blind. We swell because he's in Photon Forge. He'll use the 4. He gets a really good Plasma Beam. There you go. He just did his 4 and it did nothing for him. Fracturing Strike. More Reflects because he's going to run his Static Discharge stuff. I thought I saw a Prime Light there. He might have cancel cast it. Wow. What a nuke. That was really cool. I want my Rev to make a play now. He's an S. He can't stomp this. Good job to the Rev. Well done. Rev did well. Rev did do very well there. Good job. Saved me from a misplay. Except now he's not killing it. With any kind of speed.
Ready, willing, and
Okay, that's fine. Meanwhile, this guy's low. He's pushing back to the node with that health. Friend, they'd best be almost dead, otherwise that's an insane play. Firebrand has a random dodge. We've had no opportunity for Fire Greatsword this game. Just yet. We did earlier, but they were rally botting. We're going to stay for the Phoenix here. It's too much. His mantras and his tomes are about to be up, so we get the kill on this guy now. As long as we don't get weakened too hard. They've got the ping on the wrong thing, in my opinion, right now. This is going to be a big rally, and it's going to make us cry. Oh, double down. Good, 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 good. Okay, good. And it was after the rally. Perfect. He's going for back cap, but their team's already doing it. We get the Immob on the roads. Hopefully he can push. Good. Nice fucking thingy. This is bad, though, because they took boss as well, so... If I can get a decap under their noses, what is that? What class is that? It's warrior. That's fine. Let him rot there. I'll take a 4v5. I'm happy to do that. So we watch Beach for any respawns. Mesmer's playing well. We steal this boss now. We kill that. What's going to happen that loses us the game is we're going to go for this boss and they're going to steal it. Or we're going to go for this boss and lose the mid-fight in the meantime, which looks like it's more likely. I don't think they have anyone who's too good at stealing right now. Oh, the warrior, actually. As soon as I said that, the warrior left. That's fine. He fell. So we get the Duke. No, no, no. Stay on the node. Shit. He got decapped. He's already down. We eliminated the warrior from that fight with that play there, and he's still dead anyway. So you see this? We do win. As long as they don't die. This guy needs to just not die, and we win the game. But he needs to not die, and they need to hold that cap. So we can just obviously flesh here. He can attack us. We can come up to this, which means he has to... Oh, shit. I fucked up there. It's fine. There is like an invisible platform you can climb on, which means he can only attack us with jump autos. But yeah, so we do win that, actually, with the boss. I should have had more faith in the boss play later in the game. But yeah, woof. Oh, boy. By the way, this victory platform that we're stood on here, can you see that in the regular match? Can you actually see that? I don't know. I just triggered 7 passive traits, which I can't even name. Guilders 2 PvP. God, you're so whingy, Mike. You're actually such a whiner. Has anyone actually pointed that out to you before? I will happily point out how much you whine. There are a lot of passives. There's no build that has 7 passives. And hopefully a lot of them people can name. I get what you mean, though. The impulse of your whine is totally on point, which is why I'm really happy with the next patch. Because they're nerfing that stuff. Which is good. Let me check. I want to see if you can actually see the victory area. Yes, I pointed it out. Okay, cool. I will continue to. No, you can't see it. Yeah, because I didn't think you could. Can you see it from spectating? Let's see. Toxic streamer. Yeah, so what technology are they using to make that appear? Because on the minimap, you do appear down here. Does it just become visible from a certain angle? That's so strange. I don't know what the situation is there. Wow. It's bizarre. Guild Wars 2 friendships. Alright, you get a laugh out of me from that one. You can see it. Can you? I don't know if I can see that. I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter though, guys, because all you need is the mini-map. The mini-map is what's important. Alright, okay. I've actually noticed on Game of the Day, I'm doing so much like play-by-play annotated stuff using the mini-map. I should try to use the actual footage a bit better. It stays hidden until a flag is triggered. Yeah, and the same as like festival stuff as well. I never realized how high this is. This is actually really cool. This reminds me so much of like Halo, being in theater on Halo, and that's a good thing, by the way. And exploring the weird areas of the map. Look at this. It's so high up. Probably the decoration systems. Would I be at any kind of disadvantage if you have to PvP on low settings? Not at all, man. Most people who really care about PvP, they all do it on low settings because they want as many frames as possible. Just depends how hardcore, I guess, you are or whatever. One of them, like, sometimes in very specific circumstances, if you have your culling set weirdly, it can be a detriment to you, but not too much. Well, there you go. That's the opening PvP, guys. We are now going to be playing on Natalie, the Spellbreaker from Hell, who has done the Start of the Path of Fire story multiple times now, and will have to do it again. She's on a new dye job. By the way, gems for the Discord giveaway and the dye job giveaway haven't been given out yet. I'm waiting for an email from the devs to give me my next batch of gems so I can give those to you guys. So bear in mind with that, please. But yeah, we will be given. We did the giveaway and stuff on that before. So this is our dye job right here. Hopefully you guys agree. It all looks amazing. Let's actually make the minimap smaller. So we'll do that. And yeah, we're gonna play this. Good luck on your PvE adventures. Says it says Chask, who I think was in the queues earlier. So that's very cool. We're gonna do this. I want coffee though. So let's start the stream off. I'm going to kick it off with the stream starting thing. This is a bit weird because we've been going for a while. But yeah, I'm going to do that, and then we're going to do all of the map 2 stuff. All of the map 2 stuff, okay? So I'll see you guys very shortly. Giving away gems I don't have. Look, I do have them. It's just on a budget, all right? Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry that took me a while. I couldn't find the grind. And it was like right in the corner. It was an open thing that I didn't think was open. Sun is just starting to set now as well. It's just starting to get that kind of not nice sun setting, just sort of drab, like dank, sort of grey darkness starting to set over everything. But yeah, so anyway, hello. We've had a lot of comments here during the start. This is kind of cool. What do we have? Sword has a decent power build for raids. A tweak here and there for survivability makes it perfectly viable for everything else. Yeah, there's some like, they're not great builds, but there are some sword weaver builds that are effective enough-ish in Conquest. This video, the intro screen it is a video, it is not a real login screen, but it was not made by me, it was made by an extremely talented person who's just sort of left the scene, a guy called Welk. So yeah. Also, I do think I do have gems to give away, it's just I'm not sure, because I haven't catalogued them properly, I'm not sure which ones have been claimed already and which ones haven't. So I'd have to go to NCSoft/ArenaNet to get the, to get that verified. I have no way of verifying it for myself. And I do that constantly, and I don't want to bug them, so I'm just waiting for the next mail, which should be in a couple of days, so that's the plan there. You're going back to school so you can learn to create the potato plant made of coffee. You'll be rich. Good luck, man. Good luck. Lies and deception. You'll be happy when Signet of Stone gets nerfed. Well, hopefully next patch. Should be good. Is there a link to a bunker druid build? I would never use the term bunker to describe any build in Conquest, if I were you. If you want a very sustainy 1v1y / 2v1y build, yes, there are. You can go to something called Meta Battle and you can find that. Druid is extremely powerful for that at the moment. Yeah, Dusty, don't tell people that they want to kill themselves or whatever. Please bring the monk back. There's tons of monk skills in Guild Wars 2 already. There's tons of playstyles that match monk playstyle from Guild Wars 1. There's tons of stuff that exceed what monk gameplay was in Guild Wars 1. I don't know why you're asking for monk. Are you going to recap the end of Edge of Destiny before the Prophet's Shadow instance? Not on this stream, no. Have you done the task for Yasna in Istan today? No, I haven't, but I'm not going to bog the stream down with that stuff. We're going to get into it. It's the potatoes guy. Didn't know he still plays. Any snow where I am? There's a bit of snow around. Oh, it's a joke about playing druids. All right. I'm not sure I do, but I only whiz past in the comments. All right, guys. Cool, cool, cool. So who's ready for some of this? Who's ready for this? Oh, so by the way, I want to see how much rating did I get. So we lost basically an unwinnable. We got plus 10. Jesus Christ. Plus 10 for the other game, but fine. All right. So, someone said they love the toon. I am glad that you love the toon. I think it looks pretty cool as well. I think it looks like a pretty cool toon too. Especially when the alchemy axes are at the right color. It looks pretty goddamn baller, doesn't it? So it's night again. But it's okay because the first instance doesn't necessarily feel like night. So, we are going to go to the Temple of Cormyr. We're going to come here. We do want music. We want the dialogue volume maxed out. That's coming out of default device. I hear it. You guys hear it. No, you don't. Now you guys hear it. So just to be clear on this one, I cannot alt-tab once I start this. So if there's anything I need to alt-tab for, tell me now. Alright? I'm thirsty, but the coffee's still too hot, so I'm actually going to drink some Coke.
Reports of creatures driven insane by ley energy are coming from all over.
When it comes to tunes, you prefer cars. What do you mean by that? Our camera and stuff is still set exactly the same as it was on the previous stream, and we figured it out. We're going to do side-by-side conversations. Should be pretty good. Dusty is being toxic as fuck, and it's amazing how WP pardons his behavior. Well, I haven't really seen him be that toxic. It depends. I don't read every single message that comes in Twitch. It would just be unworkable. If on the VOD I see he's being really toxic, then I'll do something, but... if you guys want to spit at one another, I'd rather you just do it in private. Do it through DMs instead of dragging my whole community and my name into it. Am I excited by tomorrow? I am. I am. It's going to be really cool, man. Oh my god. We get knocked down by these... What is it? A jacaranda that attacked me? Yeah, look at it. It's all the way over there. Is that a combat animation? Or is it just hiding? Wow, we just got randomly gusted. I'm really excited. It's going to be a very, very cool patch. Or I hope so anyway. Or it's going to be broken and terrible because they ran out of time. Alright, here we go. So the story begins. Oh, I need to... Hold on. We can put chat up here. That's fine, right? We put the chat up. Okay, that's good. Through the Diviner's Gate. This gate leads to the Makali outpost in the desert highlands. We're going to locate and confront Balthazar, the big first story fight with the god himself. They really wrap us into this very fast. I wish that, like, each of these little acts that were a bit longer than they are, but there you go.
Run.
I think I'll always
Get
feel
out
that way.
here while you can.
Okay. So, it looks hellish. It looks horrible. We have just enough fog on. This instance looks terrible. This map looks terrible without fog. They use fog really well. But it's Keto, so hello again.
What's going on?
Blast was here, battling the Branded just outside these walls when the Forge attacked. We overheard one of the Forged say Balthazar himself was on his way to snare the dragon. You there, follow me. I promised the Order of Shadows would help you find Balthazar's herald, but I trust you'll settle for the god himself.
We need your help getting to Vlast. He may be the secret to stopping Balthazar.
I'm sorry, but nobody at this post is equipped to stand against the god of war. This way, keep moving.
That line doesn't really line up very well.
I have to get these people away from the danger here.
They throw
Back
a
to
different,
Phineas
like,
Temple.
completely different bit of audio into the middle of expository dialogue. You get that in a lot of games, so it's excusable. I'm not going to hold ArenaNet to ransom for it too much, but it does take you out of the moment.
Come on, we need to stick together.
Won't even fight for their own homes?
These people aren't warriors. Unlike you, they see challenging a god as certain death. So they prefer to run and live.
We understand. Get them to the temple.
Alright, so they're out of there. I like that line from Ritlock as well. It's good to get some of his perspective in this.
I didn't have the heart to tell him that if we die today, there's nowhere in Tyria that will be spared. Then let's do our best not to die today.
See,
I like the Tribune's plan.
So what now? We find Vlast. Kaz?
I'm coming with you. I want answers.
See, I feel like if this was a different RPG, if this was dedicated to the RPG aspect, if they had no, like, resources that they were ever constricted, this whole thing, if we die today, there's nowhere that will be spared. It feels like there should have been a long, sort of slow silence before the storm build up to this, where we all understand that we're walking into a major conflict. Like, the way our character speaks there, it's like, we've been ready, we've been mentally preparing ourselves for that or whatever. But, like, we don't get that time. We're just rushed into it here, and we sort of rely on our character to do that very quickly. Like, we learn at the same time as the NPCs, oh, this is a big pivotal moment. I mean, we can presume that at any time we're doing something in Path of Fire. It's all hopefully crucial to getting rid of Balthazar, but no, this is the big moment. The devs kind of have to tell us that because they don't really have the time to sort of string it out a bit more, I think. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, so we're going to exit the outpost.
Through this gate. We can't risk letting the Forged inside.
Don't make me say please.
You'll have to find another way.
Oh, looks like someone's immune to the Ritlock charm.
And then you get, like, I don't know. This is a moment where I think that I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I felt the first time I was playing through this anymore. But like the little bits of infusion of levity from Kanak, I don't know whether they.
No telling which way Vlast went. There's fire and debris in every direction.
I don't know whether they serve.
That destruction. Dragons tend to leave a more distinctive trail.
Like raging fires and broken bodies.
Along those lines, you'll know it when you see it.
So also this bit's kind of weird. What's going on here? Was this like find another way? Oh. Find another the ultimate challenge, the gate. Oh. It's almost like you remember how the first instance of the first part of the game with the raptor in the first map, you know how we had an intense moment where the raptor helped us deal with the situation? It's almost, I might be wrong, it's almost like early design, and even for a long time, for this instance, they were going to put us on the Springer here, and the way around, the way to get around the Cavalier was we were going to jump over with the Skimmer. But they realized that they were throwing too much on us at once, and they delayed the acquisition of the Springer till later, leaving this bit with some underused voice lines or whatever, so they're like, oh, just, yeah, walk over. I don't really know what that is anymore, but there you have it. WP has a sexy voice. Oh god, I should do my Tengu, shouldn't I, or something? All right, so yeah, we move out. There was a cool achievement here.
God dynamic was a disaster waiting to happen.
This from someone who has a dragon in his family tree.
And the Char always have to come clean up everyone else's mess.
I love this. Everything about that.
Why fight over blame when we can end this thing now and fight over credit?
Our character's a bit sort of, I don't know, they're obviously just joking around with one another. But, and we're like, oh, you gotta be serious. No, I really love that line, though. I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's great to see, like, the different people's perspective. It's great to remember Heart of Thorns is a thing. It did happen. Wow, what even killed me? I couldn't even get my heal off in time. What killed me? I guess we could check the combat log, but I don't want to turn the dialogue off. I have no idea what killed me there. I don't think I was standing in any fire, was I? What is this? Oh my god. It's alright. We can deal with this, guys. It's fine. We'll just deal with the small ones first. We'll go Guild Wars 1 style here. Wastrel's collapse. He was in the middle of something. Throw an axe. Gotta get back used to the Spellbreaker gameplay again here. Oh, he hit us. I was actually about to go wins. We might be dead. We are dead again. Jesus Christ. I gotta play really carefully. This is actually really good, like, gameplay, I think, if I play it well. Come on, get me up. Okay, good. But I'm not. We need to actually use our full counters. We need to use our projectile deflect. So much pressure! I guess the cannonade's on me? Is it normal to fight the cannonade at the same time as an elite officer? Or have we just got kind of unlucky here? Let's full counter that. Get back into our wins. Oh my god. I walked back onto that. This is so gross. I'd be more embarrassed. If this was not live, I would have just re-recorded this. Because this is shit. But alright, let's go back through. Where did it respawn us? I don't even know where it respawned us. I suppose it's a good demonstration that they did kick it up a notch with this campaign. I mean, it's good, actually. I want to see that it's hard when I'm running Zerks. I want to feel the pressure to go Marauder. Full counter? Good. Alright, finally, we can actually get some damage going here. So these become regular enemies. I like that as well. A boss from earlier in the game becomes a regular enemy. What even happened there? Oh, we got stunned and it delayed the animation, did it? What did we get sieged by? Really? How is that fair? So he has a proper break bar this time. We'll get the banner back down. Not that it really matters because we're about to do a lot of damage. We can take the banner on Raptor back, though. I guess eviscerating is a good play. Alright, so we get the Nomads. Optional, clear the patrolling forged elite forces. We already got 2 or 3.
Refreshing.
So what, we killed 2 at once? Is that why that was such a challenge? Because 2 of them ended up... I like the format of this instance as well. I remembered enjoying this. It felt kind of...
Thank you. Please help the others.
I'll do what I can. Just get yourself to someplace safe.
It felt like a proper, like, instance. So we get Nomads to rescue. We got 2 out of 10. I guess we'll do it, because why not? Extra footage for me. So, was my when life gives you melon joke earlier just as bad? Why aren't you... What are you guys talking about? Can you guys... If you guys are actually arguing with one another, like, can you please just take it to whispers? Because I really don't care, and I don't want other people to have to put up with your nonsense. Seriously.
Refreshing.
Otherwise, you will just all be timed out for the rest of the stream. So, either the conversation stops now, or that's it. Because I have the power to do this, and once again, we don't have any mods. So just shut up, take it to whispers, so that people can talk about the story and normal stuff. Sorry that I even have to say this out loud, because it brings the stream down. But, yeah. This isn't a platform for you guys to whinge about stuff. It's a platform for me to whinge about stuff. Hell, yeah. I don't even know really what's going on in chat, because I'm trying to talk about the game and stuff. But, yeah, I keep looking back, and whenever I look back, the snippet I get is just people talking about nonsense. I'm going to have a fun time reading the VOD chat. If people were being fine, then yeah, don't let me drag anything down. It's nice to see a giant fish to show this used to be a sea. Yeah, the setting here as well. I mean, the salt flats is really good. Here's a difficult thing that I've got sort of to deal to sort of unpack all of this. It's like they mix the open world and the actual core story so well now. It's difficult to sort of But this is so cool, right? Because, yeah, it's like the Salt Flats was one of my favorite areas. I already actually mentioned this at the start when Path of Fire came out in sort of a semi-review thing there. So maybe it's not a problem, but maybe I don't have to say it again is what I'm trying to explain. But this is, yeah, really cool. I love this area. I'm a bit sad that all the Marganite ships and stuff have gone. It's funny, though, because you would have thought the wood would deteriorate, fine, but it hadn't deteriorated after the first 1,000 years between the Exodus, the fight, and Guild Wars 1. But then in the next 250 from Guild Wars 1 to Guild Wars 2, it does deteriorate. So they could have swung either way with it, is what I'm saying. They had enough creative license to leave them there. And they could have even, if they had left it there, if they had built all those assets and put them into Path of Fire, they could have added as well a cheeky little like throwaway line of dialogue where we speculate, hey, why hasn't the wood deteriorated? Or they even answer it, right? They don't have to. They just have to lampshade it and then it's done. So they could have gone either way, and I wish they'd actually embraced it. I guess they went for the option that means they have to build less assets, though. So that's fine. You love the Salt Flats episode in my Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. Did I really do something cool there? I don't remember there being anything cool there in the first Let's Play. The lack of Marganite stuff, save for the Jackal thing, feels like a big missed opportunity. I agree, actually, I do. That's more of a criticism of the Desolation, though, in my honest opinion. And a bit Vabby, but definitely the Desolation. But again, you can see why they're struggling, because they've... I don't know, I do think it's actually a failing of Path of Fire that they pair this new god conflict with a region of the world that had a god conflict before.
Yeah, you.
In the spirit of one-upsmanship, I'll count Mordremoth and say no. But don't worry, rookie. I'll show you the ropes.
Wow, I don't think I've ever heard that before. I don't think I ever heard them saying that. Maybe I have. That's insane. That's a cool line as well. This is cool. They've got some great banter. It's good stuff. I think the banter works well, like, while we're out here and, like, we're sort of... we're in core story, but we're sort of taking a break from the main thread right now because we're actually performing the task. So I think banter works best during this sort of beat, this gameplay aspect. I don't think the banter works well when we're under key exposition and stuff at the start and the end and the, you know, the really important bits. But when we're roaming around, I think that this is where the banter works perfectly. I think it's where they splice it into the instance that has to be hit just right. These unusual crystals seem to carve the path through the war zone. Yeah, but I think one thing Path of Fire, like, did fail with, right, is they have this new god conflict, and beautifully they set it where the old one was, the Nightfall one was. But they don't take advantage of that in any way. They rush us through the Desolation and the Mouth of Torment and where all that extremely important stuff happened. They rush us past that shit. They don't properly tie the Abaddon stuff into the Balthazar stuff. If anything, they try and hand wave it and, like, they don't know how to tackle it. They don't embrace it, and it's sort of on the side. So you get these weird moments where, like, potentially a key conversation, a huge story beat, meeting Dunkoro the Ghost, a person who has been through this before, is just like a couple of throwaway lines that they almost felt obligated to do rather than embraced, right? So I think the Path of Fire does fail in that way, and yeah, the Marganites fall into the same trap. It's the same as the Dunkoro thing, the Dunkoro encounter. That's sort of how I feel looking at it anyway. And you can tell what I think they were struggling with is if they just had all this stuff to do, they didn't know how to tie it together. Because they want to do other stuff as well. They want to push the boundaries. They want to add Keto, and they want to add the Order of Shadows. And I agree with all of that as well. I think that's all good. It's just like the scope of Guild Wars, what Guild Wars could be story-wise. You know, the Path of Fire arc, this could be a, you know, a 40-hour single-player RPG experience. They've got that much stuff they could play with. They really do. And it could be so good as a single-player 40-hour experience. Instead, what we get is it's a fraction of a fraction in an MMO, and it's maybe, what, like a 6 or 7 hour experience? And stuff falls to the side for it, unfortunately.
Refreshing.
If each of the expansions could have had the length of the core story, but the quality that the expansions have been at, there we would be dynamite. We would be leagues above any other MMORPG experience you could ever have, really. In terms of story delivery. In terms of mechanics, obviously never, but not with their current philosophies and inability to go back to certain things. But in terms of that stuff, the story, can you imagine that? Can you imagine core story scoping and length and space, breathing room, not bogged down by tons of options, and with all the like tools and things they've got nowadays, all in action. Can you imagine that? Path of Fire quality story, but the length and breathing room of core. Oh my god. Same for Heart of Thorns. Now that we've had 2 expansions in a row of this kind of scope and style, Path of Fire is admittedly way better than Heart of Thorns, don't get me wrong. But now that we've had 2, I sort of feel like, you know, Cogs of War, Return to Cantha, this kind of stuff. I'm less excited about them because I don't think that they'll ever do what I just said.
Commander, look at this.
Anyway. This is just verbal diarrhea. They're just thoughts. It's not necessarily important.
More intense than the rest.
The sand here is melted to glass.
So it's the same effect as Kralkatorrik's branding. Only with blast, it's not corrupted.
So, not as bad as Kralkatorrik, but still a damn dragon. Where'd you learn how to track dragons?
It's not a skill someone learns. It's the application of common sense to one's physical observations of the environment.
Yeah, I knew you were making it up.
So again, these banter works really well. It's spaced really well. The lore nerd in me is interested right now. So because I'm a failure of an actual human being, and I don't know anything that's outside of my door, I only know about Tyria. But as a failure as an actual human being, I don't know, but if you superheat sand, does the resulting glass always turn gold? Is that what it looks like? I don't know what it looks like. But what I'm wondering then is here, this is our first indication of non-like purpley glint, non-purpley Kralkatorrik. The race that Glint was before she was corrupted. And potentially even the race that Kralkatorrik was before he was corrupted. Think about that, but that's a whole other side we don't have to do. The idea is they have like golden glass they splash everywhere, which is really interesting to think of as a race that existed on Tyria, and one of them just became so powerful and got so much magic they ended up... It's really, really cool. This is what Glint's race could do. This is what Gleam... Sorry, I should say Gleam... not Gleam. Gloss. This is what Gloss race could do before she became Glint. Really cool, actually, to think of. I wonder if it ties to any of the golden architecture we see elsewhere in the game and stuff, but probably not. I know that all glass is just superheated sand, but presumably to get all crystalline, clear, and nice... I don't know, like if it's just done in raw, uncontrolled environment, left to oxidize and contaminants come in it, if you just slapped plasma on a desert, would it go gold or would it go clear? I don't actually know what it would look like. That's sort of what I'm saying. So anyway, we got that. We're looking for more signs of this danger now. So this I don't actually think was done too well because not enough really telegraphs where the hell we have to go here. We get optional forged catapults. This is a really good instance, by the way, in terms of optional stuff. I love this. Sometimes it feels like Guild Wars, it has its Ratchet and Clank moment. You know, it has the moment where they actually hit gold and they realize, wow, this is what a PvE instance should be, could be. But they're too scared to do it on a consistent basis. So, like, I think they could have tons of instances that were like this. If the combat is good enough, you know, don't be scared to give people combat. Problem is they don't tutorialize anyone about the combat, and there's such a wide variety of builds available. If they lean just on combat, it could get really bad. But, and balance can sometimes throw it a little bit. We're going to full counter as he shoots us as we run in. Look at this. Arrgh! Pro Guild Wars 2 gameplay. It's cool. You know? I think that this kind of thing's nice. You know, search for things, get bonus objectives, proc in. Nothing wrong with this. And what, you know, if they let themselves click, right? If they found that formula, if they found the perfect sort of like loop for Guild Wars 2, if they found that, that would probably give them a lot more freedom and to sort of quite more comfortably churn out instances and things. As long as what they land on is good. But you know, stay out Path of Fire, they're constantly having us. They're constantly varying it up, constantly relying on other things. Anyway, we will kill the catapults. I'm trying to do a complete thing, so let's go kill the catapults. There's another one over here.
Ah, here's something.
You feel that the devs should force us to get better in solo play? The thing is, we're not supposed to have the Springer, right? So that adds another dynamic to this, which we're going to force upon ourselves so that the game is more fun. The thing is, if you do that, I think it's massive player-based retention issues. I think the only way to fix that is to add proper tutorialization that's consistent. I don't mean add a tutorial that people play at level 1 and forget about 80 levels later. I mean restructure the game to have consistent tutorialization, teach people things, continually remind them about mechanics, and have that on a consistent basis through the game and encourage people to make new tunes again. That's the only way to do it, to sort of retool your existing user base. If they go for any other option, I think they risk alienating their users. So we can just make that jump on a raptor. The thing is, I don't know how much is super long leap. I kind of want to do it with mini leap, but you got to get a cool angle when Blast comes in. Good point, man, actually. Good point. Let's deliberately stand in something here. Oi! Wow, nice. Interrupted the heal and everything. God, Winds is... I'm going to die. The bleeds. Oh, just about. Cannon goes down. Let's take our banner. Where's the banner on my raptor back? I don't actually see it. Alright, good. This looks really nice as well. I love the look of this. Alright. So that's 2 catapults. Jesus, how many catapults are there? I guess we should just be able to see by looking around. Oh, here's another impact mark.
Shards? They're not branded crystals.
Blast must have created them to impale the forge chasing him.
Clever dragon.
That's the worst kind. Any idea where he may have gone from here?
I suggest we keep looking north.
I don't know why Ritlock says that's the worst kind there. I guess it might be referencing Edge of Destiny and his victory over them with Snaff. I actually think that line would come really well from Kanak as well, because Morgemoth was clever. Morgemoth was communicative. Morgemoth was manipulative. Morgemoth had a very direct link into Kanak's mind, so he would know the depth of his intelligence and understanding, whatever. So I think it would be cool to hear that coming from Kanak, but hey. More cannons. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Here's one. Catapults, sorry. "4 years of a break. You recently returned, and the only way for me to do it was to level up a new tune, in this case Revenant." That's very cool, dude. So let me ask you, if you left for 4 years, dude, let me ask you about break bars. Here, I've got a challenge for you, Mr. Adieurs, and no one's going to laugh at you or be rude or anything. But in chat, can you tell me about your experience of break bars, what you understand them to be, all that kind of stuff? Because I'm curious. I'm curious what that was like for you as essentially a new player to the mechanic in a game that does nothing to explain it to you. Did a friend have to tell you about them? Did you manage to intuit it? Are you still a bit shady and hazy about it? Okay, so where might the last one be? I'm not entirely sure. I love the little mobs around in the area as well for us to fight. You level new tunes randomly because of the method you discovered. Oh, interesting. I like the bits of geography here that start to make us think, wow, what if I could climb on that? And very soon the game will allow us to. Don't know if that's deliberate, but it feels pretty good. So, it's up there that the next part of the instance triggers. Over here, I don't really see too much going on. Oh. Sand eel. We can ignore that. I actually just returned after 5 years and I had no idea about break bars until I started rewatching your videos and your Twitch stream. I'm the tutorial system, guys. Oh god, I love it when I can be arrogant. Here you go, here's the last one. I don't know how I missed it, but it's over here. You think it's a Jurassic Park reference with the clever girl thing? I don't think so. Or are you just joking and referencing? Because that's humor these days, isn't it? Good stuff. Alright, there you go. That's all the optional stuff done. Alright, here we go. We've got to get a good camera angle. Here we go, guys. Oh.
Fresh claw marks. I'd say up that plateau.
If Last is up there, Balthazar can't be far behind.
I hope you're in time.
I hope so too, Casimir. So interesting, that dialogue has to be long enough so that if we YOLO'd this, they'd still be able to speak before the next moment.
Balthazar.
We're auto-dismounted. The heralds, Balthazar, they're communicating.
Have you come to accept my god's offer?
Never.
Reconsider. Living at his command is better than dying at his feet.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's honestly such a good bit. So we break his break bar by kicking him repeatedly in the head. Full counter. Her, I mean, I guess. Kick her again. Yeah, there we go. Axe 5. So we have to DPS slow here. We have to DPS slow. Because they messed this up, unfortunately. Good players miss a lot of dialogue in this one. We have to go slow. That's so good without the cutscene there. It's honestly so good. The one later isn't necessarily. I'm deliberately going slow here because I need her to be able to deliver her dialogue. I played all of this with 2 people, and so we just ripped through her.
Expect no mercy from my god.
And he should expect none from me.
Okay, good. That's the first line. She unlocks some new animations. Pretty cool. Stab at the flame wall. Love this. Bit noisy, honestly, with the visuals. But, yeah, we can turn... Oh, I should have had reshade on.
Refreshing.
Oh, well. So we do this. Let's move over. Boom. Does she constantly flame wall? I actually don't know.
Give in to his will. I too tried to resist, but I failed. And
Refreshing.
surrender makes the pain more bearable.
Maybe I'm stronger.
So here they start adding all this nuance to the character. And I like that the nuance is here. I like that she sort of sees our way in the end. I'm not going to heal because I don't want to lose my might. But I feel like it's not... It's just like all of a sudden, oh, she was good in the end. It felt a bit cookie cutter to me. I don't know. A bit boilerplate. It wasn't like... I'm not invested in this character, who she is or whatever at this point. And so to me, this was a bit of an... I have to be honest, this was a bit of an eye-rolly moment when I first played this. Because it was just like very, very like down the line standard stuff. We're really lucky we didn't get hit there. I'm going to heal now. This actually, for a single player experience, this seems pretty good actually. Like it's not going to mess up the dialogue. Like she is going to get time. Even if I'd been hitting her as hard as I could. She actually put me down state. Why is Casimir pure stun? What's that? Not sure. Oh god, this is going to be really bad, isn't it? What? She finished me off! I don't believe it! It's okay, it's Guild Wars 2. It doesn't matter if you're bad! Oh, we were in Vaughn. Literally, it doesn't matter if you're bad. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's go in here. What is this ring? This is really annoying. Should I be going to my melee set? Can I actually just stand in it? It's the wall that matters, is it? Is it like a test of faith? So she's got 2 of them. We'll break her again here. The full counter should finish it. Like, and now she's going, oh, you're stronger, prove it. It's just, I don't know. Obviously, if she's about to die, she would have a change of heart. But it just feels, I don't know. There's something about it that's not quite right. I'm not sure I could put my finger on it with a lot more, like, thinking about it. But, again, I like the impulse. I think it's good. Yeah, Jules, I agree completely.
Balthazar, stop this. Your war will destroy Tyria. I won't allow you to commit more atrocities. If you won't talk, we have to treat you as the enemy.
Very well. You face the god of war, mortal creatures. And I tire of your meddling.
People would be running Marauders. If me dying there kicked me, people would be running Marauders.
I killed her.
You could have replaced her. But you refused my offer. We'll have no more words, Tyrion. Only death. Sure. You, friend, I will spare. But my mercy ends there.
This blew my mind. Loved this line. I talked about that before, obviously, on a video. I thought that was so cool, so exciting. The opportunities, the reasons why he was a friend. It was an incredible moment. Really loved it. Right, so now we confront Balthazar. And we fight him on a Spellbreaker. This should be pretty fun. I'm going to actually try and get good footage of this fight for people. Kick him from behind. That's just for my physicals.
Choice.
Oh!
The flames will blacken your corpse.
So we can still weapon swap when we're otherwise incapacitated. This looks better if you're at range because the blur of the bubble doesn't interfere with it. Brilliant cutscene coming up here. No!
Rally to
Listen
me.
to how eerie it is. Listen to that.
What happened?
Did we prevail?
No.
So what happened to Balthazar?
This is so good, guys. So good. Listen to how well they did the timing of the cutscene back into the game, the audio with the eerie like tingling in the air. It's like slightly melancholy, the ringing in our ears that they approach. It's so good. This is like Path of Fire at its best right now. It is so good. And on replay as well, there's a whole other facet to this part that it's like, oh my god, we had a duck. I can't alt tab. Hold on, maybe I can really quickly. Okay, I did. All right, that's fine. I'll look at that in a second. But this is so good, guys. This is so good. On replay, it's got that extra side to it as well, where it's kind of like we know a lot more about Vlast now. And it's like, wow, he died. I love how minimal our interaction with him while he's alive. He's just a beast. He doesn't communicate. They could have easily had him communicate. They could have easily played like some cheap boilerplate shot where he says, "Save me, Commander." They could have done anything, but no. We only hear his voice later. It's really good. And look at this. The corpse of a goddamn dragon. One of our greatest potential allies defeated. And the mystery of Ritlock lingering there. They move off onto the various sides. It's very visual right now. It's really good. I love it. So anyway, by the way, Ryan, Jesus Christ, 51? 51 pounds? Hey, WP, this is the donation to the coffee fund I talked to you about forever ago. Sorry for the delay. Feel free to use it on whatever you need caffeine-wise. Keep up the good work. So you've given me £50, but I'm only allowed to spend it on caffeine. It doesn't sound very healthy. £50 worth of caffeine is probably quite a lot. What do you want me to do? Go to Amazon and buy some coffee? We'll have the whiskey stream, but coffee stream? What kind of coffee would you even get for 50 quid? That's insane. Thank you very much, man. I don't know if you're serious about that. That's really, really cool. If I can spend that on just like living and stuff, that's incredible. Thank you very much. Why not 52, yeah? Well, thank you, dude. That's so nice. The eerie tingling of the duck in the air. I know, right? Oh, I'll tell you what. That audio is going to get in the way. I'm going to have to replay this instance because the audio is really important there, and we just have a duck quacked in the middle of it. That's okay, though. Thank you very much, Ryan. I'll happily replay this instance for £50. That's super nice. All right, Jesus. So we walk towards. We speak with Casimir and Kanak. It was choose which ally to speak with first. I actually spoke with Ritlock first before, but we chose these two. So let's do this. Ritlock was obviously the most interesting from before. I've never actually done these two first, so let's see. Hey, guys.
Vlast sacrificed himself to save me.
Oh my gods.
When he died, Balthazar was knocked back by the Force. Then he was just gone.
So we still have no idea why he wanted Vlast, what his plans are.
Wait, these crystals.
Again, this is a big question. I don't think they convincingly enough answer, but fine. So examine the crystal shard.
They look like the memory crystal we saw in Glint's lair when the Master of Peace received Doreen's egg.
A memory crystal? How do you...
The War God hunts me for the power I carry within and the weapon in the Prophet's shadow. You must discover the knowledge to unlock them, sister, before he does.
That's Vlad's voice.
He left this message for Aureen.
Or for someone he knew he could trust to get it to her.
Prophet's shadow. Any ideas?
It's probably Glint's lair. Ritlock would know more than I do.
We should talk to him.
No, you two rest. Recuperate. I'll go talk to Ritlock.
Why we decide that we're the only one qualified to speak to Ritlock, I don't know. I love that Vlast doesn't even say like my mother or anything. He says the Prophet's shadow, which sort of shows their disconnect. Like that I think that's really cool. Another thing as well there that I just want to say that flashes across my mind. If Guild Wars was capable of structuring itself different in terms of offering story, they could have done something really interesting with Path of Fire, which I think that Guild Wars always lacks, which is giving you choice in what to do next. They do it good in Path of Fire, but one thing they could actually do, you'll notice we actually get our next objective here. This happens really organically. I think it's done very well. Sometimes in games, and especially in Guild Wars, it's like too obvious. It's like, oh, go do this, now go do this, and it seems very manufactured. This doesn't feel manufactured very much to me. But there's actually two different stories going on now. Balthazar, so the big question, the big mystery right now is how do we stop Balthazar, but why did Balthazar care about this dragon that's now dead? And our answer comes from the dragon itself here for 2 reasons. 1, some kind of a weapon. 2, because of the power he carries within. So if Guild Wars could deliver itself narratively differently, if you could essentially have 2 story journals going at once, is kind of what I'm talking about, there could be a really big split here, where there's kind of 2 storylines to go down, and you can choose which one you want to do and in what order. The investigation into the weapon, which could lead you to all various areas of the desert and adventures and quests and people and blah, blah, blah. And also this power within, what's the power within? And that could lead you to different disparate locations and people. And only once you've just sort of done both does the story dove together again at the end and blah, blah, blah. And of course, that whole thing about the weapon too, that's actually really not paid off on. So the devs actually sort of, they shoehorn it all into one long line, as we know Guild Wars has to. And the weapon story, we'll see, obviously concludes more later. But yeah, so again, don't know whether I get the dialogue. So Ritlock. It's probably better speaking to Ritlock second, actually. There's even more reason to come over to him. Dude, what the hell?
Canuck. Casimir. They okay?
Yeah, I am using Sigil of Severance.
What just happened? Why did Balthazar spare you? Call you friend? Balthazar, I think we met once before. What do you mean? When? When I was looking for my sword, Sohathan, in the mists.
And here it is.
I don't know how long I'd been looking. It's easy to lose track of time in the mists. But when I finally found Sohathan, its flame had been extinguished. Then I saw the stranger, in chains. He told me he could reignite my sword. I didn't ask his name, or why he'd been imprisoned there. I only asked him to restore Sohathan's flame. To repay the favor, I used the sword to break the chains that bound him. When I did, a portal opened. He told me it was a passage out of the mists. A way home. He must have followed me out, escaping the mists. I didn't know until just moments ago. But that stranger was Balthazar. He looked just like any other spirit trapped in the mists. I didn't know the truth until just now. Commander, I'm gonna make this right. I know.
Commander, we really should be off.
Well, we can't undo what happened. But we may have found a way to limit the damage. Casimir and Canuck can fill you in on the way.
God.
Oh. You had Casimir worried. Balthazar nearly killed us all.
Sorry. Blast left a recording. Said something about a place called Prophet's Shadow. It's probably Glint's lair. I've been there. It's not far from here. But if Balthazar knows that too, we might meet some resistance getting in. If we can get in. That's kind of the trick.
Plot's moving too fast here. There should have been a break. Before the second half of that conversation, we should have had the option to just wait and press F and then move on. And I don't just say that as a streamer, as a person that like wants to talk and then, you know, unpack it. I think just that could have had a little bit of a break there. Right, so in some ways one of the best parts of Path of Fire, in some ways one of the worst. So that cutscene demonstrates that Ritlock did not know that it was Balthazar. So up before this instance, Ritlock knew that he went to the mists. Presumably there's a whole thing with Glint, which the cutscene doesn't even try to touch or acknowledge exists. Because he became a herald. They don't even try with the Glint stuff. I wonder if that was like a cut arc from Heart of Thorns that they never did in the end. I don't know. So, do they want us to wonder about that still? I don't know. You would think that that cutscene would have something in it, suggesting that there's more to know. I already discussed that they're probably scared to do that because they want the players to feel like they've had the full answers, but we so haven't. So, you'll see how, like, condensed that is, like, how... it feels like I'm sorry to say this like so bluntly, but it feels desperate from the devs. Do you notice how they condense everything, right, into one single moment? How did he get the sword? How did he get out of the mists? How is he tied to the Balthazar thing? They do it all at once. The entire thing is like, oh, by the way, he gave me the sword. Oh, by the way, he had this was Balthazar. Oh, by the way, this was also the portal of the way out. Yeah. It was all together. And I just really, really don't like that. I don't like that on its own, even if it did satisfactorily explain everything. But then we come to the other side of it, which is, okay, so before this instance, what was Ritlock's big secret thing about them? What was he withholding from us? I met an old man in the mists. And it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. They don't answer this properly. And if we're supposed to wonder about it more, it doesn't answer it. And so even worse as well, we can then later, as a community, speculate and say, oh, well, look, it was profound because it relit the flame. And there's this other stuff as well at the end, right, where we use the flame as this crucial thing to defeat... Balthazar himself, and we as a community can speculate that it's because it's Balthazar's power in Sahothin. It was Balthazar that was the only one that could reignite the flame, but that shouldn't be open to our speculation. That shouldn't be open to a single throwaway line that I think substantiates it in the mission. It should be much more clearly done than that. There should be a line in that cutscene that says, "My sword, I'd found my sword, but it had been depowered. I had no way to repower it. But then I found an old man. Peculiarly, he told me he could." It should have been something like that. That would have been such an easy thing. That's still the same amount of screen time. But no. He finds the sword, and it's unlit, and it gets relit, and he finds a way home, all in the same moment. So they can condense this down into poor Steve Bloom's, like, what? 5 lines of dialogue expressing the entire mystery. It's just not good enough. And then finally, you've got the... Oh, I forget what I was going to say. There's another facet to this as well that's really kind of gross, unfortunately. I think, anyway, with this cutscene. What was it? I've waffled my way off of it. I can't remember. I can't remember what I was going to say. So, it's just... in the moment, I think that the story moves so fast that there's a lot going on that you can kind of question it. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to absolve Ritlock from all fault by making him ignorant of what was going on. And they're also trying to get this done as quick as possible. But in going for those two things, I think they ruin the entire arc. So what do you guys think? Is there more to Ritlock's story in the mists? Should we be wondering about it? How did he become a herald? Well, yeah, are we supposed to? I actually don't know. I mean, I sort of, in some ways, have dedicated professional aspects of my life to understanding this story and speculating about this story, and I genuinely have no idea what the devs want us to question about this time in the mist now. I genuinely don't. As for the cutscene itself, it's a beautiful cutscene, and, you know, it looks really pretty, and it was quite awe-inspiring at the time and stuff, but I don't see any body here. I see panic. I see stress. I see manufacturing the clearest way out as possible and actually failing to hit what they were going for. Personally, I think ArenaNet made the dialogue short to express the idea that Ritlock had no idea he was freeing Balthazar and that he had no idea how significant that event was until now. Yeah, trying to absolve him, right? What if the other bits link into Cow? I would love the other bits to be answered, by the way. I would love that. I think that would be really, really good. Oh, I remember what the other thing that I don't like about this. Okay, so Balthazar reigniting the sword, okay. That's super hand-wavy as well, guys. That's super hand-wavy. They're going to do a bigger, more abominable hand-wave later, which is how did the gods chain Balthazar off screen? How did he become chained up, right? You know, the idea that there was a war between the gods in the mists, but they don't want to do a war between the gods on Tyria, but you know, like, so the idea is at the end of Path of Fire, we are able to go toe-to-toe with Balthazar because we have Sahothin. He's depowered and we have Sahothin. But the only reason we have Sahothin was because he powered Sahothin. Balthazar powered, so it just kind of doesn't make any sense. He's depowered, he's in chains, but he can still power the swords, which Rytlock can then use to break the chains, because, like, what? This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make very much sense. It's really hand-wavy. Like, I don't think you can treat characters, I don't think you can treat power levels and capabilities so hand-wavy in RPGs like this. I know it's easy to, as a fantasy writer. I know these all look like get-out-of-jail-free cards. I know that you probably envy sci-fi writers that can add any technobabble they like, but, like, when it's a power fantasy game like this, you kind of have to, like, have some integrity with that stuff, and I just don't see any there. He's a depowered god who manufactures his own escape. How? By finding a random dude in the mists and powering said random dude's swords, and random dude frees him. I can see some wiggle room that's buyable, but is that a fun story? Is that actually, like, an exciting way to worm our way through that beat, through that question? Is that actually a cool thing that they've done with the subject material? Fuck no, it isn't. If I tell you, yeah, part of the Guild Wars story is going to be a god trapped in the mists who frees himself, guess what? And the question is, how does he do that? Guess what? You can get an entire campaign out of answering that question. That's what Nightfall was. Abaddon was chained up in the mists. Look at what Abaddon went through. Sorry, Abaddon, mate. All you needed to do was find a random fucking char, and he would have broken your chains. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't line up. I'm sorry. And the more I think about it, the more I actually don't like this. Am I missing something? I hope someone's, like, hating what I'm saying because I'm missing some very obvious thing, but my estimation of this is that it's rushed and it doesn't line up. Do you know the reason for the change of eye colour on Rytlock after he became a herald? No, probably just that they wanted to change his design a little bit. I'm hoping for some message. If anyone in chat is going to turn me around here, it will be Cossage. He'll have something, but I don't know whether he's got anything for us. I'm not against devs not explaining everything. Secrecy is often what keeps these kinds of bigger points afloat. What I am worried about is that Rytlock's adventures in the mist have been a big question for a long time, and it feels like people are getting a bit impatient and are starting to blame ArenaNet for completely waving off the question. I mean, one thing does strike me. There was a developer, and I like to judge the game on the game, all right? So what is said on the streams outside of it, I try to keep separate to a certain extent. So I won't let those judgments affect me too much. Like, I saw, you know, these ArenaNet forum chats or whatever that are going to be happening once a month. I saw on Reddit, someone was like, oh, are they going to be answering lore questions? To me, I actually don't like that. Don't give us lore question answers on serious things on the forums. Put them in game, because in some ways it's like it robs it of what it should be. I don't like it when the citation is because of a Guild Mag interview 5 years ago or something. I don't think that's necessarily the thing we should embrace. But anyway, there was one thing does strike me with this whole story. There was a stream where it was blatantly apparent that as they went through Heart of Thorns, they had no idea the answer to the Rytlock thing. Particularly when Rytlock went into the mists, they had no idea what that was leading to. And so, like, it's because of that. It's because you... I don't know, I've never been a professional writer on a product, so maybe I have unrealistic standards about these things. But I think if you are structuring a story, you need to have more than just a vague, waffly idea about the answer to a mystery before you put it in, alright? Carlton Cuse and Damon Lindelof may have duped a great many losties over it, but at the end of the day, if you unpack their work, you see it falls apart, and I don't want that from ArenaNet. Don't manufacture a mystery without a clear idea of the end and how you get to it. Rush, fully agree, but do you think they wait another fully year to develop this? Personally, I'm a patient man. I want a great product, and I don't really care about how long I have to wait for it. Increasingly so as well. If another year of development time for Path of Fire meant that we got this properly expanded and worked on and we got to play as Rytlock in the Mist or whatever it was, I would love to do that personally, but obviously, you know, money is a thing and we live in a real world and blah, 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 so I don't really want to move the conversation to there and practically whether they had the time with the resources. The product at the end of the road, I'm saying, I don't know whether they really hit it with the Rytlock thing. Yeah, so Royal says, look at the Heart of Thorns announcement trailer. I think they had something else planned. Yeah, the only thing I can think is maybe with Heart of Thorns, they were thinking of paying off on it there, and it was going to be directly to do with Glint, which is why he's a herald, and he's got that. And Glint would have been interesting subject material to go to because of Tarir and because of Aurene. Like, it would have been perfect to see Glint at that point But then I guess during Heart of Thorns they were constrained. That whole arc and that idea got cut, and they had to push the Ritlock thing back, and they knew that then they wanted to go to the Crystal Desert later and that they could put the Glint stuff in there, so it would be on the next expansion. And then they knew that people had been waiting for a long time. I think that is very likely to have been what happened, but that's my speculation there. Do you think NCSoft forced Ritlock into a primary position in Heart of Thorns because of the MXM game? Absolutely not. No way in hell. I love how any criticism of the story almost always ties back to how shit Lost was. Lost was like an incredibly well executed shambles of a story, of a mystery TV show. Again, Rete. Watch Rete reviews Lost. All like 15 hours of his dissertation on it. And you'll understand a lot more about me and the kind of content I do, and why that show was a bit of a shambles. But anyway, we don't have to get into that. It doesn't always turn into that, by the way. Not always. So anyway, chat, I don't want this to just be bagging on the game, because I do think this is a beautiful instance. There's so many cool things about the instance. Does this aspect of Path of Fire let me down on 6-month retrospect? Yes, it does. I'm let down. Hey, look.
Okay. You three get to Glint's lair and recon for Forged in Balthazar. I'm going to find the rest of these crystals. They may be useful. I also need to find a place to reach Timmy and check in on Aurene.
Are you going to tell Aurene about Vlast?
Trust me, she already knows. I can feel her reacting. She must be connected to Vlast like she is to me.
Really? In any case, Commander, given the heights in this terrain, you should find out how the locals get around.
Wow. Okay, so I guess any of them would have triggered that. By the way, the whole psychic connection thing's kind of interesting. Someone in chat just said something very cool. It's kind of fitting that... where is it? Where is it? Jill says they watched Rete reviews, love. I'm glad, man. I'm really glad. Where is this? So I can't see the comment in chat. Somebody said it's fitting that a Char, a warlike race, ended up freeing the God of War, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget, God of War is just a title designation that humans really will have ascribed to Balthazar. It doesn't necessarily mean too much more than that. As the Char themselves will tell you, these aren't gods. But, that's a great point as well. Guys, a Char frees a human god. A Char unleashes a human god back on the world. Think about that. Think about the subject material we're dealing with. Think about the ways we could dive into that shit. How cool! This was such an exciting, expandable, explorable plot thread. And one day, they went into a room, they had a meeting where they said, yeah, we have to get this done in a 30-second conversation cutscene. Let's go, boys. That's what happened. And as a lore enthusiast, how can I come away from that without being let down a little? How? You can butter it up, but... You're still buttering a rock that was a diamond. I don't know what that analogy is. This is why I'm not actually a writer. But you get what I mean. Alright, what do we get? Lost saddlebag, Keto secret cache. Weird item to get, by the way. They could do better with linking these items. Like, we should get like a Vlast crystal from this or something. Elonian helm box.
Sweet
What's going on with these donations? Thank you, Sinner First. I just love you, no homo. £2. Thank you, man. Thanks very much. If every one of you told me you love me and gave me £2, I would not only be financially set, but I would also be emotionally set due to all the love. And again, I just want to say something as well, right? It really hurts me to say stuff like this because I don't want, like... I know that there's passion and I know there's enthusiasm and I know they think long and hard about a lot of this story stuff. I really do. So I don't want to be online, like, whinging about it. I really don't want to be in that position, but I've got to call it how I see it, I think, sometimes. And it's a letdown. Not the worst thing in the world. I mean, Path of Fire is still... just because I'm saying all of this here, it doesn't change my other opinions that Path of Fire is the height of Guild Wars 2 in terms of story delivery and stuff. There's nothing that changes that. We're going to get into some real premium content in a second. It's going to blow us away. But probably the lowest point of Path of Fire I think we just experienced. And it's nested inside an instance that presents itself wonderfully. Very funny, actually, because we're going to have very similar conversation when we get to the Cormyr bit. That it presents itself incredibly, but it, what it's actually delivering isn't necessarily too entertaining. Source Boss, thank you very much for the Prime, Source Boss. That's very cool of you, dude. That's very, very cool. All right, let's keep going then. So we're going to find the remaining Crystals of Lost. We get choices again. I love seeing choices. We had choices about which characters to speak to first earlier. Really great delivery. We're still Raptor only. So we got to contact Timey. Always time for Timey, guys. Always time for Timey. But where do we do that without a Springer? Maybe there's a content point back up here. So let's go up and see. A lot of the time, I feel that Arena that's writing is very either-or when it comes to either explaining and delivering bigger plot points versus building characters and drama between characters. That symbiosis between big drama and small drama is sometimes a miss. Path of Fire struck the balance fairly well, I feel, even though there weren't many characters for that drama to unfold with. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think that this franchise will ever excel at, like, interpersonal dramas. Like, oh, Marjorie and Cadme are going to break up because of their conflict over the gods. Oh, I'm so scared. Or, can Kanak and Ritlock's relationship last this strain? Is their bro dude, yeah, is Logan and Ritlock's bro dude relationship on the rocks? Are they going to become friends again? I don't think that it's ever really exceeded for me there. Excelled. I don't think I've ever really cared. I think some people do, so it's just maybe who I am as a gamer. I think it's always delivered very well, or particularly the original game as well, delivers very well when we're talking about big grand stories and epic stage and set pieces. I think it's always better with that. So is there a Timey set up here? Sorry, Outlaw says there are a couple of places without Springer you can use in Oasis for Timey. Can you give me anywhere specific? I think you need a Springer to get... Ben comes out with the opposite comment, that you need a Springer. Bromance. It's Bromance plus WP. Sorry for getting that wrong.
Refreshing.
Setsuna. Oh, the Setsuna. I love that you remember Setsuna. That's such a weird series.
I can feel Bear's power.
The axe autos. Come on. This is so difficult. Look at the grind to get my hero points, guys. Guild Wars 2 is so grindy to get elite specializations. I had to press Axe 1 on this guy for maybe 15 seconds. What the fuck are the devs talking about? They said there was a no grind philosophy, and I had to press Axe 1 for a while there on that hero challenge. Outrageous. I'm going to go on the forums and complain about that probably after the stream. Alright. What is that axe skin? Alchemy. You were probably using alchemy there. We're going to find Timey, guys. But Raptor only Timey spot. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's two sets. It's Spear Marshal. So we're all Spear Marshal right now. So Spear Marshal, and then Alchemy on the other set. There are quite a few plot points not addressed with Balthy. Where did he show up after escaping? That's a good question as well, because that ties into the Bloodstone Fen stuff a lot, right? How did he learn about Zera's plans with Lazarus? How did he and his Justicar Bauer's scheming come about? Was Bauer, yeah, all that Season 3 stuff not addressed. All of it. I mean, and it can be saved with these sort of Lissa questions. It can be saved. But the question is, like, if the plan was always to save it with some kind of cool Lissa interaction, we were always going to get more on this. I think that it wasn't delivered properly in that cutscene. I think their fear of blue balling the audience got the better of them. I think that they should have acknowledged that, hey, this is still not the full story, but you just got a big piece of it. I don't know. It's such a dangerous thing to do, though, at this point with this community after blue balling for 2 years straight. You know, I can only say to stay tantric for so long. And I kind of get why they were scared of that. All right, contact Timey. Hello, Timey.
Commander calling Timey. Come in, Timey.
There you are. I was worried you forgot about me. Something's up, isn't it? Kate says the mood in the egg chamber has taken a troubling turn.
What do you mean?
Maureen, not herself. She started moaning like she was in pain, but she won't let anyone near. She actually snapped at her exalted attendants, angrily. The whole city's talking about it. What's going on?
Balthazar is a lot tougher than he was before. He swatted us down like we were nothing. And he killed Vlast. He was aiming for me, but Vlast took the hit.
Oh, wow. That explains why Aureen's so agitated. She's grieving for her big brother, the poor thing. I'll liaise with Keith and the Luminate. Together, maybe we can calm Aureen down.
Sounds like a plan. I'll check in again soon.
Bye.
One of the things I've always loved about Guild Wars in its story delivery that I think is always really good is when they suddenly remind you of a different aspect of this world when you're engrossed in a different part. And we just experienced that there. That little mention of the Luminate. It's what I said about Ratanovus and the lab before. It's like they're a part of the expansion. They're not. But look, the Lumina just, I mean, how they'll integrate him as Season 4 goes on and whatnot, or it, I guess, because it's a boy girl, isn't it? But how they do that, I don't know. But here, at least, with the always time for tiny little conversations, it's good, man. I love it. It's really good. I love little moments like that. This honestly means so much. The always time for Timey. Next expansion, I want to see always time for Timey. I want to see always time for Logan. And I want to see always time for Talon Silverwing's ghost or whatever, I don't know, right? I want to see all three of those all at once, so I get lots of different RPG moments where I get to go press square on my allies and speak to them and sit by the campfire and discuss different aspects of the world between instances. I want it. It's so good. Always time for Timey is gold dust. Give me more and lots of different characters I can do it with. Let's go. What is with these donations? Jeez Louises. Breezy Motions. Time for my small monthly donation. Thank you, Breezy Motions. Have a great day, WP. I dig the play of the Davids on the current Path of Fire walkthrough. Maybe one day a Stellaris 2.0 stream. Maybe one day. Maybe. But the thing is, when I play 2.0, it's going to be like a huge time sink. I don't know. I'm excited. I want to do it, and I want to like create all the Guild Wars races or something. Mod in some modern character models and stuff. That would be really fun. Lissa created the Scarab Plague, said Ewendell with his £5 today. Thank you very much, Ewendell, first of all. Second, it's an idea. Don't they set up like there was like a manipulation? We'll see that in the next instance, won't we, actually? We will see that in the next instance. Always time for Ritlock, where we'd learn more about his time in the mists. I mean, honestly, it's such a good format. I don't even know whether they realize how good it is, how powerful of a tool Always Time for Timey is. This is such a powerful tool. It's so good. And they give us basically the best character to have that with as well here. Can you imagine if like Core had that? Can you imagine if Heart of Thorns had that? Yeah, have we seen Logan since Lake Doric? Not since he took over the Pact. Or expressed that he wanted to. Always time for rip. Check if there's an achievement called Always Time for the Hamazine. I mean, Zalambur. I mean, yeah, can you imagine an Always Time for Amnoon? Where we get to interact with the various factions there, talk to the Cavaliers that are there a bit more. It's so good. It's such a great tool. And it's got to be easy to implement as well. It's like an exploration device. If the mastery system was better, it would have some really cool impact with that. There, I just skipped and used the Springer. But what if this point I really want to talk to Kaimi, but I've got to get my next, mastery thing to gain access and stuff. It's good stuff. So for the shards, I'm not actually gonna skip with the Springer. We're gonna get the Springer properly. But I wonder how we do that really right now. Let's go towards the brand and see. Who would be satisfying to reveal as E? Lord Farron. You were surprised we never got to see Xanambur's ruthless side in story while in Amnoon. Events in his hammer scene are openly blackmailing, sabotaging, murdering folks so he gets his way. Yeah, we don't get to see very much of that, do we? Again, it's just the scoping stuff. Sometimes it's hard to tell if I'm being sarcastic. What do you think I'm being sarcastic about right now? I don't think I've been sarcastic for a little while. I don't know. I can't even tell you with any real confidence if I've been sarcastic in the past half an hour. I can't. Oh, I have been. I think last time I was sarcastic was with the skill point thing and complaining on the forums. So this is definitely Raptor, so we can grab this one.
To hold the weapon is to hold the fate of Tyria in your hands. The power to change the shape of the world. Potent enough to fell the Elder Dragons. Its might should not be taken lightly. You'll hear no argument from me.
Audrey says, I remember a very old stream where WP was ranting about video games not being art, and I didn't get that he was being sarcastic, and I got so angry for no reason. Oh, dude. Yeah, I'd never rant angrily about that. Are you sure this is the weapon he's talking about? The spear that we're about to directly go to in the story? Yeah, I think that's a pretty blatant exposition about a plot device and then introduce it and deal with it. I think, yeah. Is there good cause to believe it might be something else? Lost Dwarven chest. That's pretty cool here. I'm not always ranting. Sometimes I'm PvPing. Alright, let's go. I guess we could Sudoku the Raptor for the sake of speed. Full damage trait, baby? Oh, we're not running it. Whatever. Oh, we don't have allies. We don't have NPC allies to save our life.
I'm ready.
Come on, hit me. What am I doing? I knock him down and then immediately full counter. I'm a bad warrior. This is why you don't see me play warrior. Because I got no idea what I'm doing. I've not got a sausage. We're not going to do that event anyway, but yeah. All ranting is just being right about some shit that needs to be said. Not always. I think a lot of what ranting I do is unwarranted and undeserved. Quite often when I rant about... I never actually seek to rant. I don't like the idea of ranting as an entertainment phenomenon. I really don't. I understand why it has some appeal sometimes, but I would never rant for the sake of ranting. I'd rather I'm actually such a boring, like, lame person. I really am. My ideal existence of myself is like this really dry, boring, like, intellectual twat. That's genuinely what I aspire to be. And I frustrate myself when I, like, let my emotions go too high. Seriously. I'd rather everything I say be perfectly well measured and careful and precise. And I never come to regret it. And I never use language in harsher terms than is deserved. But alas, I'm a human being. So how do we get up there without a Springer? Oh, this is good. Here we go. You are not intellectual at all, you're a rager. Smitsky, man, you know how to cut through. That cuts deep, man.
It was created so mortals could do the work of dragons, of our lives. Such might, so much power. To combat cataclysmic power and prevent the destruction of all life. Following in his mother's footsteps.
A lesson learned throughout Season 3 with the lore books and stuff. Beautifully executed here. You'll notice that it doesn't matter which crystal we go to first. The story will play itself in order to us. We would never get this first. It immediately goes... So when you read the first crystal, you have a worry that the devs might be... That might be a chance. And that they've orchestrated all the dialogue to work in vacuums and irrespective of one another. But then you realize they've done the intelligent thing and they've just made you always get the right story in the right order, and so they can actually expand into these plot points quite deeply, which is really good. So the crystals, we continue to climb up. Did I cut you into fries? I feel like eating fries right now. Yeah, you did. You did. I don't know whether they've got any projectiles, so we're going to drop this. Ow.
Pressure.
How did we interrupt him with the eviscerate there? What was that interrupt? I mean, I'm happy to get it because of the sigil, but... I feel like this combat music's just too much. I think Costage was saying this is unique music based on the type of enemy you're fighting. But I feel like it's a little bit too much. Anyway, look, we got more Cavaliers on Raptors. I love seeing NPCs on mounts. They look so cool. I should really get those tonics, those new outfits. I realized something very recently, totally off topic. But the outfits that turn you into, like, town-clothed characters don't appear here, do they? The ones you can buy on the TP? I feel like that's what... If episode 2 came out, like, about a month and a half from now, with my next load of PvP money, I would probably spend it on all those outfits. But instead, I'm probably going to get episode 2 rewards.
He seeks it for the wrong purpose. We are not ready.
We... He's talking about Aurene.
Beta Ace X says, do you like the nuance of having to leave Elder Dragons alive or replacing them over the more straightforward but possibly more dramatic Titanic struggle against ancient and elemental enemies that had to be defeated? I get what you're saying. I think, though, that if you stick with the perhaps Titanic struggle thing, I think if you stick with that for too long, it gets boring. And I think they have already done the Titanic struggle thing. I think that's core Guild Wars 2, and to an extent as well, the Morgemoth Heart of Thorns arc. I think that the perfectly executed Guild Wars 2 gives you both. And I think we have seen it. It's just that core has its own failings and stuff. But, you know, think about fighting Zaitan on that airship. Imagine if that had a body, a weighty body of story build-up and quality leading into that final cinematic fight. It could have been incredible. It could have been one of your best RPG experiences you ever get to experience in a video game. Certainly through the 2010s. It could have been. It wasn't. But, you know, that's because of core's failings. I don't think that means that they now need to do that ad infinitum until they get it perfect. I think it is right that the narrative moves to what it now is, which is a little bit more of a nuanced idea. And we could go back to that Titanic struggle at the end. It's an interesting to think of what is the climax? What is the pinnacle of Guild Wars 2's story? Where does it all end? What is the final beat? Because that leads into all these kind of logical cul-de-sacs and stuff to do with, like, ending an MMO and all this kind of stuff. But, yeah, I think, overall, I think they're doing the right thing. So, there'll be a Blast Crystal... Is it down near the entrance to Ebonhawk? This is such a good part of this game, by the way. I love this, a whole aspect of Path of Fire. They did so well on this map. They did so well on everything at this point. Look at this. Look at this. One of the crystals right at the collapsed pathway to Ebonhawk. Stop! The tunnel's closed. There's no passage north to Ebonhawk this way. You can thank the Branded. And no, we're not going to clear it out. We don't have the resources to move this much rock. Perhaps an allusion to not having enough resources to add a map that connects the expansion via the place people were expecting. Are you just here to warn travelers? Warn them to what? Not go spelunking through that? Yeah, I'm sure they'll put a sign up soon, but for now, I'm here to warn travelers. She's basically one of those people that stands outside fast food restaurants and, like, spins a sign. Yes, people have tried, and no, it didn't work. I'll leave the collapsed tunnel alone. So we have to leave that. It's cool.
My sister, the mantle is heavy. At times, too heavy to bear. But Mother believed, so we must endure.
Oh, Drakes. So, by the way, the content
must be corrupted.
The content of the crystals is really incredible right now as well. We hear the mother line finally. We hear that he knew about Aurene. I loved where the previous crystal ended with he's talking about Aurene ... And we as the player get to ponder about what Vlast is thinking at the time. This is where we start to connect with Vlast. I feel like, again, by the end of this moment with going to all these crystals, I still don't feel particularly connected to him, but I understand more about him. I'm not sure. I think they wanted to build a real emotional connection through this part of the game. I don't think that they really have the time to, for me personally. It takes quite a lot for me to, you know, get to that point. But as far as I see from the community, a lot of people really started to love Vlast through this little bit. I don't know. I don't give myself over emotionally to a product too quickly though. I want to. So we have another crystal. It's this one here. I guess we actually can get this without the Springer. So let's go back to it and see what we see. Can we jump from the... Which one is it? If it's on this, I don't know how we're meant to do that without a Springer. No, it's on this one, so maybe we jump off of the cliff. Does Scout Kamara help us, standing in the shade? Oh, hi, Outlander. We'd welcome your help assaulting the nearby Morden Crescent camp. No, I don't want to help you. I wanted you to help me, and you're not going to, so... F off. No, is this supposed to be a cock tease? To make us want to be able to jump high? Is that what this is meant to be? As a Heart of Thorns player, you might be able to glide. I don't remember coming across this. Feels a bit weird that this one is out of place like that. Guild Wars rarely does this. It does it so rarely that it probably frustrates more players than intrigues them when they come across an objective they can't get yet. But I think that's just it grappling with the identity of the mastery system and what that means. We can kill this guy. See how much damage we do in a Zerg. We gotta roll some might first, so let's get a Mage Bane tether going. I don't know whether we're gonna get any full counters for the buff there, so I'm not even gonna try. We don't really have any buffs from the rest of the Zerg. No Fury or anything either, so... Bit sad, really.
I see the path at last.
This guy's not legendary, so I don't really care about fighting him. He doesn't give me anything that I give a damn about. Oh, that was good. 24k. 17k. Oh, because his break bar's down, right? So he gets the double. Okay, pretty cool. What's a full counter? So it's this skill here, the F2 on Spellbreaker. It puts me into this parry bubble. If I get attacked while I'm parrying like that, I swing a massive attack back at them and I do all kinds of like different effects. Depending on how I trait, it can do tons of different things. So yeah, that's what a full counter is. But in a fight like that where you can't see any animations, I mean, it's open world Zerg content. It's basically the most dumb sort of brain dead aspect of the game. But a lot of people enjoy it, and I'm not trying to criticize that. It just means that any kind of nuanced play you're really not going to be able to do in that kind of content. All right, let's go. Let's just climb up, I guess, and see what we can do to get to the camp, because I don't remember the route. I don't remember how we're led to it. You guys would call WP a racist if he did the stereotypical accent for an NPC character. I don't see how that's an issue for an NPC that looks and basically is black in nature. Jeez, guys, what are you talking about? I've done black voices for the black NPCs. It's not racist. If they're a black NPC, I can try and approximate it. It's not racist when I, like, put on I affect a really, like, like Asian accent when I try and do a Tengu either. It's not inherently racist imitating a race that you are not. I'm literally reading the text that is presented in game. If I add like all this random embellishment that's like somehow offensive, that would be racist, but the accent itself is not. I'm not scared of that. I like the floating mountain hyena, by the way. Good stuff. So that's obviously the way over to the Springers. I'm wondering what this looks like over here. It's another route, but only once you've got a Springer available. This is a cool part of the game. I really like this, man. Character bound masteries, please. This would be so cool to experience again and again and again without knowing the whole time I'm only experiencing it because I'm forcing myself to. And the regular Guild Wars 2 player will forget this and it'll become a distant memory because very few people in theme park MMOs take their own enjoyment into their own hands. Let's speak to this guy. But here, if you're planning on crossing this crevasse and getting to that Springer village, you have to master riding your raptor first. You wouldn't want to fall. I bet there's like a cheeky jumping puzzle you can do. By the way... Alright, I thought that was like a hidden room. That would have been really cool. Because it would be a cool place to put a hidden room as well for the people who haven't mastered yet and go for it anyway. They might find something extra. Alright, let's go around. I was going to subscribe via Twitch, but I think I'm going to just become a patron. It occurs to me that I was resistant to that because I've never used Patreon before, but it seems like a better thing than subscribing via Twitch. To be honest, Jules, yeah, because on Patreon, I actually get like a more reasonable proportion of your contribution. Twitch actually takes a lot of money whenever you do a sub through this website. So I would rather people go to Patreon all the time. Also, it's easier for me to factor my finances and stuff if people do that. If you're doing either, by the way, I really, really, really appreciate it. The dream is if you become a patron and you give me Prime, that's like you get both. And Prime is like free to you. But thank you very much if you do that. I've still been scared to look at Patreon for a while. Alright, so there's another shard there. I love the positioning of this shard. It's really cool. It's making us think, how do we climb higher? We move through the one route to the Springer camp. The carrots start becoming a thing. It's really cool. I feel like I'm on such an adventure at this point in the story. It's so good. God, I love Path of Fire around this point. God, and the map is so big as well, and there's so much adventure to be had. You get to go into that ruin, the mine. Unfortunately, most of your objectives are achievement-oriented, which are once per account, but for that one experience in 2017, I get to have fun here. Alright, so then we find these guys. Bunch more crystals are pinged on the map. Originally, we're led to get the Springer. Should we do the heart for the Springer? I guess we should. Let's speak to the stable master. Hello. Welcome to our village and my Springer stable. It's a nice place to stop and rest your feet if you're traveling. I'm not going to do the voice the whole time. Anything I could do to help you out? Let's see. The water troughs need filling. The Springers' carrots are missing again. And local animals have been causing no end of trouble. How do I fill the troughs? I don't know this yet because I'm new to Guild Wars 2. I can pick up an environmental weapon and drop water somewhere? Ooh. How else can I help? What's the deal with the carrots? Some of the other kids say I work too hard, but they like to prank me by stealing the Springer's carrots and hiding them from me. I don't have time to go find all of them. She's a really cute character. What's your animal trouble? Harpies are always attacking the village. Think you can scare them off? That cannonball thing the Springers can do can crack their eggs. We also have a groundhog infestation. Groundhogs? They've been infesting the farmers' crops. Springers have a cannonball attack that knocks the little rodents out of their holes. I'll take care of it.
Oh, there. We'll get you out for some exercise later.
Alright, so let's grab some water buckets. And now this feels familiar and warm and nice. It's like, this is Guild Wars 2. Look, oh my god, I'm in Queensdale again. I'm helping the farmers with their crops. It's Guild Wars 2. And this is nice, you know. It's a good, like, respite. A welcome moment in the adrenaline of the expansion and all the fresh... I love it. Really good. Everything clicks on this map. Everything. Except the actual logic behind some of the story decisions they've made. But still, it really... The quality is so good. Where do we want to go? Yeah, the Harpies are really strong as well, actually. It's funny because this is a moment where the gameplay doesn't really serve the story again, but the opposite. Usually, gameplay doesn't serve story in Guild Wars because nothing is a threat, and yet all the NPCs act like they are. So, like, the entire Zaitan arc, right? But here, it's the opposite. It's actually, these Harpies are super deadly, and are some of the more challenging things you will have experienced in your adventure so far. And yet, we come to this camp with just this little girl that's just chilling out. And it's like, oh, yeah, you can fight them if you want. It's like, kiddo, how strong are you? Because this is some deadly stuff right here. We'll do a mix of things. Let's go fight some Harpies, shall we? It's okay, because I'm Natalie, the pro baller, Ilona, warrior, with the epic balls rushes. This is why I'm not top 10 anymore in PvP. Because I don't know how to use my targeting. Don't know how these things work. I'm going to go kick Washel's Ruin combo, but unfortunately, he had some way of mitigating that. It would have been nice if the Alone and Harpies... Oh, we still only have the Raptor, right? Oh, but we can borrow Springers, right? We can borrow them. Here we go. Here's one. Ooh. It's the Wabbit! I did a whole video about this moment, so obviously we don't have to linger too much of this. This is footage that's very unlikely to be used in my story recap, obviously, because this is just open world. We're doing this for you guys on Twitch. Cannonball, baby. Washel's Ruin. Eat my axe autos. We can't break his eggs because we don't have another Springer now. Kick him. Immune. It's like he's a warrior and he's got the passive. It's alright though. We can climb. We got a Vista. I'm going to full counter this one.
I'm ready.
Oh, he's already dead. Oh yeah, I love the golden carrots too. I tell you this a million times. It's Bugs Bunny Lost in Time to me, 100% here. Thanks for all these donations today, guys. You guys have all been so generous. Yeah, the harpies are really cool. They use like spellbreaker stuff. You really want to do Path of Fire survival mode watching this? It does look like an interesting challenge. It really does. If you're into honor rules and taking fun into your own hands, it does look good. If we hadn't just spent, you know, a couple of months on Merciless, I'd be well up for it. Oh, the full damage trait into Wastrel's Ruin. Crazy plays being made. We dodge out of the Test of Faith Harpy mode. We have to climb down. Can't glide. No, no, no. None of that Heart of Thorns OP-ness here. You don't get this pace of gameplay on repeats, and it's such a shame because this is such a fascinating way to experience Tyria.
Jump up there and knock it loose.
Jump up there and knock it loose. Let's jump over. We're already 50% done. Let's find some groundhogs, shall we? Oh, no crit, really? I actually like the resistance as well on these guys. You know, they proc just a little bit of resistance at the start. So on a Condi build, you've got like a bit of a wall to go through, a reason to run a Corrupt. But it's not too long that it's frustrating. I actually think they've perfectly designed that. I think there's a lot of thought that's gone into that opening packet of resistance. Not that people really run Condi builds too much in open world, but I think it's good. Too much resistance, and they are unbelievably frustrating to fight against, I think. So we're going to deliberately walk towards the Test of Faith in the full counter. I don't think that happened in the NBA. You always thought die shouldn't have become account bound? Dumac, my man, you get to join my special club of people I value, who their opinion, which is usually just me. I'm the only one. No, I in all honesty though, I really agree with that. I don't think die should have been account bound. I think it was one of these like entropy decisions where they throw to the wind the long-term sustainability of the game. I think if they'd stayed a character bound, it would have been a much more interesting experience. I think that unidentified dies as rewards would be exciting moments for people. I think it would have been good. But they cast that stuff away too often with Guild Wars. In favor of just being nice and casual and stuff. Wow. Another failed Bulls Rush. I need them to be more casual. I can't do this. It's too hard, man. Too difficult. Of course, the actual answer there is to whine at the balance team. Bulls Rush never lands, guys. Balance team. Sort Bulls Rush out. I can't Bulls Rush into a rock and it won't path me around it. What on earth is the balance team doing? Let's call one of them out by their specific name and ask for them to be fired. I think that might get our message through. Here we go. Groundhog Mound. Here we go. Let's get a Springer. Let's go complain to the forums. I'll tell you what, you guys make a forum thread. I'll go and put the wooden potato stamp of approval on it.
Such might.
Do I have to kill the groundhog as well? Oh, I do! Oh, they're so passive, though. Oh, poor groundhog. Poor little buddy. Music's amazing right now. I love this too right now. Oh my god, they squeak! Can you hear the squeak? Listen very carefully. Listen. Close your eyes and open your ears. Listen. It's dead. It's dead, baby. Culling that infestation. And WP's partnership has ended. Yeah. Due to inflammatory comments about our reveal of what Balthazar did in the mists, you are unfortunately no longer welcome. That would be so devastating to me. Kill more. Do you want to finish the heart by killing these, yeah? Oh, that one sounded like an insect. I didn't mind that one dying. He sounded sickly.
If you ever have an enemy, wish groundhogs on them. There's nothing worse.
Asthma, my man. I hope you're gonna give me a little kickback for all this work I'm doing for you. That's really good, by the way. I love dialogue like that, just procking. Obviously, that's not new to Guild Wars 2 or Path of Fire, but they're still nailing that. I like how he just rams his axe tip into its skull. Christ. Shall we hit him with a dagger? What's going on here? It's not working anymore. We've killed too many guys. Let's put our carrots in the thing. There we go. Help out around High Jump Ranch. So now we...
Maybe if I had a Springer, I could jump up there and knock it loose.
Jump up there. Now we're done. Where is he? Here you go. Hello. Can I unlock a Springer now?
Springers have the softest fur.
Thanks for helping. It's so nice to meet someone new who likes Springers. Everyone here knows how important they are, but travelers don't always get it. Is my response there, don't you have anything for sale? No, it's do you have anything for sale? It's like, shut up, kid. Don't you have anything for me? So we get the Springer mount.
We'll get you out for some exercise later.
Spirit of the Springer. Jesus, that's 100 energy mosaics as well. Christ. I guess for my future legendaries, I will just opt for the dragon stands. This is well annoying. This has been a problem always with Guild Wars. They need to have a method that stops closing my boxes down just because he moves a tiny bit. Can you, like, stop, please, for the love of God? Please. Just stand still for a second. I'm trying to browse his wares. Look at all these tabs as well. This was all a mess in the expansion as well. It's not really a story. Quick, we must browse. We must browse. Stay right. No, come on. Springer treat. Sunspear recipes. We already have all of that because the trading post is OP. Can't I buy a ton of these now, by the way? Yeah, because I've got like billions of trade thingies. Adventurers goods. The golden carving. They just give us karma and stuff. Alright, well fine, whatever. Alright. Yay, we got a Springer. Let's imagine. Imagination. Because that's all we've got left that we just unlocked this. Cool. So Springer gameplay. Let's get some OP gem store. Oh, I only have the spooky guy. That's fine then. I don't want to run spooky. We'll go with the regular guy and we'll just dye him a cool color. And I'll tell you what, there's only one color that is actually worthwhile.
Springers are so much work.
And it's permafrost, baby. Actually, how does Scorch look? Yeah. Magma? Yeah. Sunfire lava? Yeah. Incandescent? No, we'll go permafrost. Permafrost raptors look really good. God, we look ridiculous on a Norn on this. Don't we look actually just like poor Springer? These have got to be some powerful legs right here. You got some work to do, mate. I know I sound by my name like a diminutive, petite, and potentially quite attractive lady, but the truth is, I'm a big bad Norn, and you got to lift me around. Oh my God! Look at the heights we can gain, guys! Whoa! More dev hacks. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Oh yeah, that's a song. I'm not gonna sing it though. This is how the Norn forge their legends, so don't belittle them. Natalie the Springer Tamer. Yeah, alright. It's a very Norn story we're experiencing right here. So now with the power of the Springer, by the power of Grayskull and the Springer.
If you found these crystals, it means I failed before we met. For this, I apologize. I would have enjoyed the company in the desert skies. She'll never know her brother.
So don't forget, he's speaking to Irene. I think that's really cool. Something about that line as well. I would have enjoyed the company in the desert skies. It makes this region of the world feel vast. And already Guild Wars is done. At this point, because we probably haven't experienced too much of the raptor power creep and whatever, at this point there's been just enough mix still of on-foot gameplay. I think on the later maps, you really lose the sense of scale because you've trained yourself and you've learned how to flip between mounts so much. And then you get the Springer, and you just start moving really quickly. But I think one of the reasons I like this map so much is there's still sort of a good balance between on-foot and mounted stuff. And it still feels... And you get that line as well, and it just makes you think about all this. Like, some of this was actually available in Guild Wars 1, but we can't go to in Guild Wars 2. And it feels good, doesn't it? I wonder if you could think about them flying together, think about riding a dragon around on the skies. Of course, we'll get a version of that with the Griffin later. Thank the bunch. Before you go off on more adventures, come back and say hi and purchase a saddle. So yeah, we get that. Now we get like an option. If we go off and explore, we can spend like literally hours and hours and hours up here, and we can see the beautiful temple, and we can see all the cool stuff, and there's just all this incredible things going on. Actually, we do go up a bit more into the snowy area, so let's go do that. I'm getting these Prime subs as well. Thanks so much, Ryan. Evolution. We had a couple of people follow us as well. So yeah, guys, if you are new to this, if you saw me tweet or you saw from Discord or whatever, if you've never really been to one of my streams, first of all, hello. I will be... Wait, what day is it today? It's Monday, never mind. But next weekend, these will continue. And if you click follow on Twitch, you'll be notified when I next go live. Nuck Norris! Jesus. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello. So yeah, we're just getting to grips with how the Springer works now. I have a worry that if we do get to ride on Aurene, she's just going to be a Griffin skin. I think they would do more justice than that. I don't actually think they compromise on certain things as blatantly as people think they do for the gem store. I don't think they would ever do that. If I'm wrong, then I'll up my cynicism meter when it comes to their handling of gem store stuff. But right now, I'm a lot less cynical than most people. And I will continue to be, because I think it's healthy. I think cynicism is healthy, but I think it's rampant online. And as I've said before, mistaken for sort of intellectualism or something, when often it's not.
They will need this when the world tips. The death of a jungle dragon has accelerated our sire's rise. If only I'd known.
So, they were actually... I heard you found a champion. I thought that he was just, like, leaving these messages to a potential sibling, but it was very directly and specifically to Aurene, who he was aware of telepathically. We weren't, but maybe Aurene was from the moment she hatched as well. I hear you found a champion. Who said that? Is that to do with Kesho? I can't remember. I'm not too familiar with the timelines and how that all lines up at the moment. So it gets a bit snowy. God, this game is so gorgeous and good, isn't it? All right, let's go this way. No, sorry, I don't think it's going to be a gem store skin. I just think she's not going to have any special mechanics. No, I think if we get to ride her... The thing is, right, like, if you read this mastery, the current Living World mastery is called Crystal Champion. Yeah? And it's Aurene has gifted you the ability. I think these are all going to be about connecting with Aurene, potentially in the end riding her around and stuff. I don't know how they'll do it. I don't know how they'll make it distinct to the Griffin. It might have like baseline similar capabilities, but I think it'll go further than that.
I fear he may get the weapon. If he does, the consequences will be unpredictable.
So here
that's putting it lightly. All the more reason to get to it first.
Here they actually skip something. Again, something that could have been dived into quite deeply, I would have liked. But, you know, we have all these things we skip. So what's been skipped there is actually what an interesting thing they could have gone into would have been, all right, so everything about Vlast's life and understanding of the world and stuff. It's all about the conflict with the Elder Dragons and Kralkatorrik, right? The acceleration of Kralkatorrik's movements because of Morgemoth's defeat, all this stuff, his relationship with his sister, all that, right? And then he's thrust into a conflict against a god. A god appears out of nowhere. Like, that's a cool thing. Like, let's explore how Vlast reacted to that. But we don't really get to explore how he reacted to that. They skip it, and we just get that crystal there. And that's a shame as well, I think, actually. That could have been really cool to have seen his learning of Balthazar's existence, Balthazar coming here, and so on. Not something that they had to go into. It's not as important of a miss as some of the other things, but, you know, it's something that makes you wonder, doesn't it? Do you think we'll ever get mount skins related to gameplay rewards, or do you think they'll always be tied to Gem Store because they're such a moneymaker? No, I think that they'll be tied to the Gem Store, and I think they should be tied to Gem Store. I think there should be a clear line between what comes from the Gem Store cosmetically or whatever, and what comes in-game. I think if you offer a mount skin as an in-game reward, and any of the Gem Store ones look better, that will just cause complaints and accentuate the perceived issue there already is, that the best stuff's always in Gem Store, so... Just be very clear with your audience. Mount skins are Gem Store. That's it. Oh, this is beautiful. Bacon's all mine. He's ready and waiting. Look at that. And of course, we are playing an MMO, so moments like this can happen. Unfortunately, we don't get too many ways to interact with other people, but the instruments are a good thing. That's cool. Hi! There you go. Oh, he's doing the Pure Imagination song. That's hilarious, dude. All right.
I would have destroyed it, but Mother forbade me. Should she never foresaw this crisis? The right path eludes me.
So look, even Glint didn't anticipate Balthazar coming back. Don't forget, right? Glint collaborated with the gods. They were like, you know, in it together. They understood different things. They orchestrated the it's very, very interesting to think of Glint, what Glint's impressions would have been of Balthazar turning rogue. Glint may have even sort of seen that in Balthazar as a potential, but it eluded her. Like, that's such a cool thing that they could have gone into as well, man. And then you think about their opportunity, like the Mist stuff with Ritlock. It could have been cool. They could have manufactured some kind of scene where both Ritlock and Glint and Balthazar were sort of all there together, and Glint talked about her history with Balthazar and her interaction with the old gods. It could have been good. There were opportunities. All right, so there you go. This is the most northern one. It's an awakened. Kill it. This is the most northern crystal, so we have to leave now. But yeah, the temptation obviously is to go to the snowy area. Once you get the Griffin, by the way, this is a really fun area to fly around the game. Really fun. This base looks good with fog as well. I recommend you guys definitely, if you're running Guild Wars 2 Hook, make sure fog is on when you play this expansion, because they really utilize it perfectly. It's not just to obscure view distances and stuff. It adds a lot of flavor and enriches a lot of the places based on the environments you go to. You can trust the devs do things well in Path of Fire, visually, environmentally. You really can. You can trust them. They do really well. This isn't one to take in your own hands. We'll drop down, I guess. We're near the Choya area? I mean, we're near the Choya area. I mean, what a cool place to come to as well. Does the crystal take you directly into it? It takes you close enough that people would go for this. I mean, where they place these can mean so much for Guild Wars 2. The always time for timey things as well. To properly lead people around these maps to experience all of it. Because obviously just using meta achievements and stuff as objectives isn't working well enough. People don't even know what they are a lot of the time. But like, using this is so good. So this makes sure that I'm like, look at how tempted I would be to do this heart now. To keep exploring, to do it all. To act completionist even if I originally wasn't really considering it. Crazy combat music. So, like, I mean, we're pretty well led in here now. Prickle Patch Hollow. Genius. So good. This music, by the way, as much as I like the music, I have like a pretty like I don't know, I'm developing a relationship with this music now, because every single video I make, that's in the default soundtrack I use for my videos, and every single video I make in editing, I hear this song comes up, and it's balanced a little bit louder than the others, and it never quite works for the commentary, so I always cut it out. So one of the things I do on every video I make, all 10 of the Game of the Days I've made, every video I make, I've been cutting out that song. All the ones on the main channel, and I will continue to, because I don't have enough forethought to, after editing, go and just change the baseline soundtrack. So I just find myself doing that busy work every single time. We messed up there. Was that a floating Choya? I don't know, maybe. Best area of the game, period. I think that that's a bit of an insult to Path of Fire to say that's the best area of the game. It's certainly got a quality that you'll enjoy that nowhere else will do. But I mean, if that's what you like, you may as well play like Little Big Planet or something, right? Or a game that's all just goofy, funny little things. I like it. I like it. It's a good area, but there's, you know, the library is probably the best place to me, I think. Or I don't know, I mean, you'd have different categories, wouldn't you? I think the best open world area is probably the floating jackal place. And I don't know, it's so hard, man. So many of those desolation areas are great. This mountain range is great. The dwarven tombs are great. So much of it's good, but for different reasons. So I don't know. I don't know. Here we go. The crystal is in quite a specific little place, so...
I feel trapped in this role. This legacy. I yearn for freedom. But I cannot turn away from these responsibilities. To do so would doom the mortal races to certain destruction. And perhaps myself as well. But then again, there is a kind of freedom in death. Is there not?
So now we actually start... we realise he's a bit of a tortured character, actually. Night begins to fall. Which I'm okay with, because the next instance actually takes place at night, so it's pretty nice. You know, we realise he's a bit of a tortured character. He gets a bit philosophical. We get a bit deep with him. We start to feel this connection grow. Honestly, it's so good, and it's a great tool for getting us to explore this map and interact with the people that live here and all this stuff. So these are optional crystals now, by the way. So we could just go straight to the lair. Obviously, we're going to get all the optional ones, though. I'm being followed, am I? Am I being followed? Who's following me? I didn't see. I like these like pots as well with like they're like geodes on the interior. They're full of like crystals and mineral deposits that are like all purple and shining. I really like these too. The library highly annoys me with its invisible walls and stairs into walls. I get the frustration on that, but I mean they do so much perfect. I'm happy to ignore that. Visually with the library, I mean. The dude playing the instruments following us. Oh, I see. I see. Given that he's been raised into a role unconditionally, who wouldn't feel like him?
Turek continues to grow in power. Her mother's death remains unavenged. The time comes to...
That's an interesting one. I wonder... It feels like they've really done very well. Very precise little chunks of dialogue that give us insights and stuff. What does that one give? What does that offer the story? Kraukatorix continues to rise in power. Our mother's death. I guess the factoid that, you know, he cares about avenging his mum. His mum's death. I guess that is good to use. They don't really pay off in that in any way, really. But maybe it's going to get us a bit more invested in this fight with Kraukatorix, which is an interesting thing to do. It's so cool that, like, honestly, I have so much respect for what they did with this story, trying to do so many things at once. Do a story about fighting a god, entangled with fighting an elder dragon, entangled with a manipulative dictator that comes up later. You know, juggling 3 extraordinary protagonists in such a deep and rich place, like biting the head off of that chicken. I was going to say biting the head off of that bat there, and I just got thinking about Ozzy Osbourne. You know, that's cool. It's cool. But we knew that before Path of Fire came out, so... He should kill Logan for that. I mean, if Logan was a character in this expansion, that would have been quite interesting to see, actually, wouldn't it? Reshade turned off again. I don't know when it's turning off. There's something I'm pressing as I play the game that's turning it off automatically. I'll have to watch the stream and pinpoint the moment that I did it. Look how good this looks. Look at this. I know you guys like it. Alright, so now we can go back to the original one we saw. I like the way this works. I don't know if the devs deliberately set it up this way, but it certainly just worked here on stream. Where the first one you come to is the, that you can't get to is going to be one of the last ones you loop back to. Yeah, I hope we hear the other ones talk as well, Cossage. They take on some of that Morgemoth capability.
I wonder, sister, are your exalted attendants shaping you as they shaped me? Have their words taken hold of your heart? Do you feel the weight of those words grow heavier with every passing moment? Some advice. If you grow weary of your caretakers, offer a hiss or a swat of your tail and watch them scatter.
See, he's actually being taught.
Do not let them or yourself forget what you are.
So this is, I think as the player, we're meant to be concerned by this. We're meant to be thinking, wow, hold on. he's telling her to embrace her elder dragonness. Is that good mentorship there? What do we think about that? I think they just leave that hanging in the air for us as the audience to come to our own conclusion about. Is the freedom okay? Do we respect that every moment of these creatures' lives shouldn't be dictated to them? Do we think that that's a risk worth taking under such extraordinary situation? I think it's a cool thing that they do there, actually. All right, we go for the last crystal, and then we're going to go to Glint's Lair. Yeah, and Aurene is doing that, yeah. Aurene does have those moments. Oh, Royal says it happens in Season 3, Episode 3. Are you suggesting, Royal, that when Aurene telepathically feels that moment from maybe as that crystal was recorded, do you think that the idea is timeline-wise, that is then she actually tries it out in that instance? Do you get what I mean? With Vlas trying to make a bond. Yeah, and I mean it's a cool like sibling story as well. You know, they're surrogates really, but they're kind of parents, aren't they? The Exalted in this situation right now. And you know, I don't know about you guys. Some of you might be only children, or you might have had sort of strained relationships with your brothers and sisters. Obviously, brothers and sisters fight a lot, but if there's one thing you have in common, it's scheming against your parents, right? And begrudging your parents for sending you to your room or making you do the dishes or whatever. You have that with your brothers and sisters. As you grow up, it's one thing you bond over, and we actually get to see a little bit of that there, actually, between those. Dossie, you actually made the forum post. Oh. It's okay as a I hate it when Twitch jokes end up just spilling out elsewhere. Nobody cares about that joke, man. We're just gonna look like idiots now. Balls Rush, you actually made the post. I guess it's kind of funny, but I'm scared how we look now. Anyway, Crystal Shard.
Your champion fills me with curiosity. Perhaps because my own never appeared. The Exalted gave me purpose, but no true connection to it. I hope you fare better, my sister. I hope you feel full of purpose. Most days, all I feel is anger.
Okay, so they have us questioning him. They have us questioning his stability. We have us question his advice, and maybe we even in line with him. And then they follow that up with a really amazing thing. There, it's like, holy crap, was Vlast unstable? Who was this character? And you know, and we're left to remember that you know he's dead now. We may never know. Really, really great. We can empathize with his situation. I think they do very well here. They really do. And it's just a few sentences, right? Disparate sentences. Whoever wrote those and how they crafted those, I think they did it very, very well. So we think about this. And then the big mystery as well. Who was his champion meant to be? My champion never appeared. Is that explained in Path of Fire? I can't remember anymore. But even if it's not explained in Path of Fire, I don't think it has to be explained. I think that's a really cool idea as well, that he was supposed to get a champion. He was left without one. Who was his champion meant to be? Is that explained? Can people tell me? I can't remember anymore. One of the reasons why this Twitch playthrough is going to be a good thing to do. I said I would leave my mark of approval. I need to keep my word. No, I don't need to keep my word. I'm not going to touch that forum thread. I always cringe a little bit when like a Reddit thread appears advertising someone's stream and all their stream viewers go in there and type like in jokes. It's like kappa 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 or whatever. It's like, I don't know. There's something about building a Twitch community. They just act like, I don't know, it's still their home when they're not there anymore. I don't want to spill that over into the forums. It was a bit of a joke. I guess I won't make jokes like that again. Because I don't want to encourage shit posting on the forums. What if his champion was meant to be our character in Guild Wars 1? The timelines don't really work out for that. It wasn't explained. I don't think it needs to be, though. So we use our Springer to jump into Glint's Lair now. Voila. The sacrifice complete. Highlands survival cache. And we're on to Crystalline Memories. The next instance. Now, I know that I said we were going to go all the way with this. But this is like a long instance. And then there's another long instance. And then we go to the mists, and that's long instance. So we'll have to hold it here. We'll have to keep going next weekend, guys, I'm afraid. But yeah, that was pretty good. I will close down with the PvP game. We'll see how we feel with this. So yeah, we will do that. But we're going to have to stop there because it's too much. We've already been streaming for almost 3 hours. Hey WP, any new mastery predictions for tomorrow? I guess it's, you know, it's called Crystal Champion, so I'm guessing it would have something to do with Kralkatorrik or Aurene. I don't know anything else though. But yeah, I really like that instance. I like the exploration. It's cool to get the skimmer and stuff. Didn't we save Gleam from Guild Wars 1 in Guild Wars 1 from Destroyers? We did. Yes, we did. I mean, that would have been kind of cool to have seen Vlast talk about that, his time with the Brotherhood of the Dragon and the transition over to the Exalted and the construction of the cities and all that stuff from their childhood. That would have been all really cool stuff from Gleam, or Vlast as we now know him. We need another new OP down skill. I think the design of that OP down skill being tied just to Lake Doric is really weird. And I think a little bit, the fact that it's still there, potentially because it generates revenue from gems on episode 4, I think is a bit of a weird compromise on the game that maybe isn't good. They should probably look back at that. It might just be that none of the devs that are ArenaNet actually respect how powerful that is, or how much more of a problem that will become as time goes by. So we've got a Kylo game. I think that's cool. Someone have a link to my PvP build? You can go to metabattle.com and it will have an almost good Fresh Air Weaver, but good enough to start with. I stream this game and I need to trick my viewers into thinking I'm okay at PvP. Hey, he's like me. He's like me. So I'm a little bit different in terms of sigils and runes, but I think Meta Battle actually has it figured out here. Don't run Arcane Shield, run Twist of Fate. It's a no-brainer. Double stun break, 2 extra dodges. The dodges last longer than your existing ones. Super speed for kiting around. All of that versus 3 blocks. Yeah, right. Take the Twist of Fate. Which opens the question of timeline of Last. He was born in Kesho, but Kesho didn't exist in Guild Wars 1. That can't be right. He can't have been born in Kesho, because he was alive in Guild Wars 1. Kesho and the Exalted and stuff and their cities weren't going. There wasn't a band of there wasn't a band of dwarves, the Brotherhood of Steel, building a secret city in Guild Wars 1 times under the desert, was there? I don't think that's what the devs are saying. He cannot have been born in Kesho because we saved him in Guild Wars 1, and he was already like, I think he was called an adolescent dragon at that time.
I feel furious.
I think anyway. All right, let's give you the big mini-map. Big mini-map.
The match starts
For increased entertainment value of this PvP game, you should watch the mini-map to see where my allies are and my enemies are. Okay, it's slightly too big. Let's shrink it down just a little bit. All right, let's see what we got. They're all going for this gate. I don't like this. I'm not going to go close. We'll let the Rev do it. If I want to climb in PvP, are there certain classes that fare better in higher ranks, or are they all fairly balanced? They're all fairly balanced. I would avoid Elementalist and Rev, but even they can make plays. But if you're very new, I would definitely avoid those. If you're very new, I would pick Spellbreaker, Scourge, or Druid to start off on. They're all pretty face roll, but with correct... but as you practice on them, you'll be able to climb quite high with them. And you'll get better. There's things to learn. So we push around... I'm not at all in the correct mindset right now of how squishy I need to be. So this guy got just destroyed. We blind to cover the... He dodged even though I had blinds. I can't really blame him for that. He won't have noticed or expected that. It's only sort of when you have a team, they'll know to be ready for that. So he's Endure Pain. He's already had his knockdown. That's great. We just take regular damage. The res is going off. We Swirling Winds. We blind this guy from range just in case he takes another form of CC on me, like that hammer, which was out of range anyway. He's peeling out. I tried to emote, but he's in shield stance. We've given him a lot of might here. He's pushing back in. Plasma beams back up. Obstruct. We get on the node in case he gets on it. This guy's called Way of Pain. Right, so yeah, we hold this cap because we've lost sides. We're going to res our friend if he goes down. My friend just needs to turn around and do some damage now. He's in Endure Pain, but he will go down. There you go. Good. Swirling Winds. We rot that off to the side. We let our guy heal. Is he a core necro? That looked like a core shroud. So our guys are dying over here. This Scourge was terrible a second ago, though. So we're going to just push... That's going to auto stun break. I'm going to hide here for a second. Scourge peels out. We can jumping puzzle, take the 1v1. Warrior peels out. We can kill the Scourge. They're both capping the nodes. So we'll see what they do here. I'm happy to hold 2. We should by rights win the rest of the map on that. Good dodge there from him. Warrior comes over. Scourge fell down, so we take the warrior fight. So I held decap and pressure. That's probably not too important. We jump up here. He might not even be able to get us up here. We test his capabilities. He's rampage. He threw the boulder. Oh my god. And I missed the jump up. This is really bad. Oh, I messed it up again. This is our last chance now. All right, we made it. Another boulder. It's all gravy, baby. All right, we're good. So now we kill him. He needs to flee. He doesn't realize. All right, so he moves off. We take decap. He's dead. Spent too long letting us free cast on him. So we win sides. No, that's baloney. You can jump dodge or you can featherfoot grace. This guy's rotating for no reason. Yeah, this is after story, sorry. Alright, we got 3 cap. Can take this guy. He's not going to be watching, probably. We'll go for the Gale as well. Gale, Plasma... No, what? No, I'm not very good at the game. Oh, and he delayed it. Hype. Fracturing Strike Burst. Look at that shit, man. We dodged because we were trying to make sure that weakness didn't proc. He's not even running the weakness straight, so... Good stuff there. Our guy jumps in. He's probably dead. Just take some airstrikes. I knew that was the fear mark. I should have dodged into it. I'm not very good at the game. Oh, good target over here. I think I just saw rocket boots as well. He's going to jump us. We've got this reflect ready. There it is. He S's. Nice S. We take decap. He's being aggressed. I'm scared of this guy going down. There's his double S. I take decap and I'm going to push and we're going to go for a res here. I was too slow with this. Let's see if he's... Oh my god, but he was. Oh, ready? Ah, injure pain's up again. I should have known that it would be. This is a pretty bad fight for me right now. We can't do anything about our ally being down. We can maybe kill this guy again, though. Do I have a plasma beam ready? I do. We wait for the shield block and then the dodge. Oh, he's aggressing. He's dead. I can't... Oh my god, the Mage Bane! The downstate Mage Bane! That was so hype! Oh, my guy did move in. I don't have Obsi Flesh. I'm gonna die. This bleed, though. I'm dead. Wow. Condi Weaver. Taking the kill. Pretty hype. Oh, if only we had a Blood Necro in position right now. Don't res this. Just burst him. Hilarious. I spelt Bologna wrong, did I? It's Guild Wars 2 hook. It's not even on right now. Now it's on.
Might and glory.
You left for 5 minutes? Well, we've been streaming for 3 hours already, and there's a lot more story to do. So my death there is really punishing. They did well here. Took a good decap, going for more fights. No, he's not staff. I want this guy to push me. He is pushing me. No, he's not. Damn. I don't like this. On this build, I hate taking full cap. It's so annoying. Alright, let's go. See what we got. So this guy's super low. This looks like a fairly volatile mid here. I'm turning around because I think, like a dummy, I was just open to any potential crosses. We've won the 2 cap. So here my positioning is really keen. I can watch people coming through here. I can watch people pushing mid. I can do anything I want to aggress them on the roads. Look at this guy. Look at this squish. Can I CC him as well? No, he is running balanced stance. He is. Mage Bane, we're going to invuln whatever he's going to do here because I'm scared of him. We can't walk away from the body because the tether's still on us. There we go. All right, over Zerg, though. My Rev probably didn't need to jump down like that. It's okay because he can probably Shiro port back in. He's not as eliminated from the fight as you might think. So we're going to take the Weaver because he hit us really hard earlier. And I'm salty. And I need to prove my superiority by attacking him the second we're in the next fight together. Alright, fine. He's LOSing very well. Let's move over here. Yeah, this is small shades. We take a glance back again to make sure nobody's crossing. Sturdy 2 cap. Boring game. Boring game. There's nothing really we got here. This guy takes the same rotation to the same place, the same way after being burst here. He's already 50% endure pain.
I feel furious. Safe from harm.
He's shield blocking. We don't give him might. He might be running might makes right as well, which means he heals and gains endurance from that. We're going to go for the warrior 1v1 without losing decap. Pretty scary. We have to dodge the rush. Oh, he's rampage. We dodge the boulder. We dodge the 5. Blinders up. Plasma beam. Oh, his positioning was so good there with the plasma beam. Getting in my face like that, because if he moves a certain distance, the plasma beam will cancel cast. I need to get better at fresh air early and just let go of the keyboard. If you let go of the keyboard, the character will auto turn and face them. But if you're holding one of the WASD keys and they walk behind you in the middle of the animation, it will cancel cast. So we win that. He gets pressured for going far on a glassy build and running straight into a respawn during his 1v1. I mean, we were going to win that anyway, but even if we weren't. He comes out of the same gate to go the same direction in the same way. So... Oh, he actually finally changed it up a little bit. Good job, bro. Good job. Unfortunately, we have such a solid position now on the map. This guy's just asleep under the thing. I didn't even know. How long was he under us? How long? How long were you there, crazy? Rampage and ranked? You never know. Next patch, the cooldown's going down so much. He's in pain. Treb! It is 2k15. I take it back. Oh! Oh, God. Such an epic play. Let's go. Let's go, lad. Oh, we cancel cast through the auto S, his heal. Come on. I really want to kill him before he heals now. Yeah, baby. That will be really annoying for him. Alright, I'll do one more because this wasn't a real game. I want rocket boots. I want a leap on this build. If I could get a leap on this build, there'd be so many more fun things we could do on the maps. But okay, fine. But yeah, Rampage has taken a massive cooldown difference. War Banner is getting over a minute shorter cooldown. So we might be back in a world where we can Alt-Tab to quickly... Not Alt-Tab. We can tab target back over to the warrior to land that nasty headshot right in the middle of his power res play. Use sword for a leap. Isn't the sword leap terrible on Weaver? It's like the 2, right? That's it, the fire 2. The air 2 is a targeted blink in, which is kind of cool. That would be something, but I'm not sure what else he's got. Truly, a sword staff Mirage is the ultimate kite player. You get phase retreat for epic plays, you get blink for epic plays, you get a leap with the sword for epic plays, you get portal for epic plays. There's literally everything available to you on that spec. Everything is available. The only thing that's not available actually is a ground targeted leap like a jump shot, which I think can make some things, but I mean really. Alt-Tab for Spotify playlist management because they're running War Banner. And there's no point fighting because they'll just rally everything. What's playing in the background of the potato? I think that is... Let me watch it for a second. Looks like a sci-fi thing. I'm not sure what that is. Someone is walking... Looks like I see a gun there. I don't know, what is that? What game is that? I would have known it at the time. It was all stuff that's relevant to me. Oh, that's the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer. That's the FF7 remaster. Yeah, that was Cloud we were looking at there. Yeah, there you go. Tristita got it as well in chat. That's what that is. Helix Season 3. Were you in Inks' chat? I was watching an MMO Ink stream the other day, and we talked a bit about Helix on there. Why would Guild Wars 2 even come without the Guild Wars 2 hook? Because they just never prioritized, as a development focus, customizable post-processing capabilities for the player base. There's nothing wrong with that. They want a nice standard experience. Ideally, Guild Wars 2 hook doesn't need to exist. They find us the sweet spot on their own. Do I play 15 or will I play on PC? I played a little bit on PS4 and then stopped. This time last year, I feel like I had a lot of stuff together. I had a lot of projects that I was working on well. I'd sorted a lot of things out, and I actually had a work-life leisure time balance where I was playing games and things. I was actually using a lot of my PS4 at that time. I was doing Ratchet and Clank. I was doing Crash Bandicoot stuff. I was playing Final Fantasy 15. I've got to get that back, man. I've got to sort my life out. Got to sort it out. Have I watched Altered Carbon? I have, actually. I watched season 1. I thought it was okay, but every single I'm such a snob. I'm really sorry for being such a snob. Every single episode of Altered Carbon was worse than the previous one. It just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But it was a really interesting setting. When it clearly had some budget and some decent scripts going on, it was good. But Christ almighty, it became a bad show in my opinion. But yeah, it was worth a watch. I'm excited for season 2 because they might be able to do it well. Just from the way that season 1 ends, they can basically take sort of a soft reset. It was okay, but needed more dicks. I did notice they were showing a lot of Vaguba and stuff, but there wasn't much Willy going on. That is true. I did notice that. You're on 6 out of 10 and you can't finish it? Oh, Aleal's 1991. If you're only on episode 6, watch the last 3 episodes. Watch the train wreck that show becomes. It doesn't become an ultimate train wreck. It's not that bad by the end, all right? Don't let me overstate it. I don't want to, like... My opinions aren't always that harsh. It was an okay show. I don't regret watching it. But it did become more and more mediocre and boring and boilerplate the more it went along. There's a certain character they introduced that just, like, as soon as that character's in the show, it loses everything that was interesting about it.
There, target identified.
Your Guild of Sea graphic is much better looking than mine. Can you show the graphic settings? It's ultra, except culling is low and shadows are off right now, and reflections, because neither of these matter in Conquest, really. Shadows we could turn on, it would look even better. And I sustained 60 even while streaming, 70 while streaming. I can do this as well. Reflections don't matter because there's no real water in these maps, so.
Come here.
Yeah, and I have post-processing on Guild of Sea Hook post-processing on.
Swift and steady.
If you want better graphics without faffing around, use dynamic super resolution, set it to 4K. It will still reach 60 FPS very easily. I trust you on that. That's cool. Oh, we get some blasts. I can't take any, though. I'm in the wrong swap. Nobody blasted in the smoke scale. Sorry, mate. Let's see. So he's running Signet of the Aether, so we can expect him to be... Where is he? Oh, my God. Chrono Phantasma, Greatsword Berserk. Oh, my God. I'm playing so badly. They know to focus me. He's down already, though. But the thing is, I got too many of them on me, so... I need my team to make a play. They're all just on the nodes. I score a kill on my own, 1v3, and they're all just fucking about down here. Get a move on. Why are you pushing that line? Ridiculous. I suppose we get the cap. It's not too bad. They put him downstate again now. This is going to be a really crazy game because they got a Fresh Air Ellie, a Thief, and a Power Mesmer, and a Hollow. There's a lot of extreme damage here. If we can get map control, it's an easy win, but we need to get it and hold it. My team is probably going to get spiked constantly, and the second they start losing their foothold, I'm fucked this game. Sorry about the swearing. We'll see how we do. So this is the one player I don't really care about fighting. We're looking at the Fresh Air Ellie right now, very closely. He could blink up to us. He's running Weave South, which is bugged at the moment. We're going to blink in. Good, he takes a blind on me. That's really bad. I'm like super pressured now. We line of sight. We can Obsi Flesh next after he's changed some of his stuff. We're delaying the Obsi Flesh as long as possible on this. So that we can... Wow, he got me. I can't believe he got me. He's down anyway. So they're all dying. Because I didn't take a clean 1v1 there. That's really bad. We'll see what they do. If they pressure his body, then we're fine. If they don't, then he reses before me and we die. But my team doesn't seem to have any awareness of it over there. So, I think we're fucked. We're going to see this icon disappear as he reses. Oh, he's letting himself die. What a mistake to make her. Too late, mate. Oh, what a mistake to make her. Terrible, terrible play. All right, that's fine. So, we can kill this. FGS on it just to finish it off nice and quickly. We wanted to dodge the full counter, but we did it a bit early. Mage Bane, don't let that pull me in. Oh god, he's shield blocking during my 1, which means he reflects my 1. Oh my god, and that was an epic dodge there as well. He's so low. Let's just kill him. We gotta kill him. Oh my god, he got a thingy up. Where were my crits? What is all this damage? Did the thief jump me? I'm in the well of blood. Yes. Oh my god, blood necro is gonna save this for us because they have like all this pressure, but if they can't put the kills down because of a blood necro, we like win. There we get the interrupt on his next shield block. He's down again. My guys are dying though. We need this for the rally on our blood necro. Good. Someone took stomp. DPS was probably better. This guy's going to bail out. I've made him aware that I'm looking at him with my autos, which is pretty bad. Oh my god, these are going to be some really decisive mid wins. He needed to leave. Why is he still in mid? We look at this guy. Fresh air rallies on me again. I'm not too interested in that right now though. We actually need to bail right towards close now because if
taken the graveyard.
Was it fresh air rally? What burst me? Maybe it was just the mesmer. I don't know 100%. So Glassy Warrior's going to close. We have to 1v1 a warrior. This might have been the one from the previous game, so I don't know. We'll move him off node.
I feel furious.
Stun him. So we break that there. I use my reflect just to stop him reflecting mine.
Might and glory. My flames burn hotter.
He got the Great Sword 3. This is going to be really bad. Oh, I've been plussed by the thief as well. I missed the jump. I'm dead. My guys are so slow rotating. Don't take this res. Okay, he stealthed us. He's got a gyro. Scrap it is meta, ladies and gents. We climb up. We take the target onto the rampage. We swirl in case he throws a rock at us. He double dodges. Full counter. Warrior, everyone. Thief tries to blink to us in a no port spot. Doesn't understand what's going on. Welcome to Guild Wars 2. We could take some infinite range damage on him, but I don't need to. We just need to pressure this because he's going to retarget to my friend. Oh my god, that's good. Phoenix will be really good here as well. He's back in range of us. Our guy's down. Come on, get the... Search and rescue that. Please search and rescue that. We're going to go for the cheesy kill here. That wasn't a cheesy kill. He's going to rally, though. Back over to him.
I feel furious.
Oh, my God. He got the steal. That's really bad. We have weakness now because of the poison. That's really good. He got his skill 3 timings messed up. He was just spamming skills. Which is fair because it's hard to know what the hell I'm doing. We get the knockdown this time. Big spike. That's it, one. Unfortunately, we had to plus that, and it wasn't a very clean one. We still have mid, though, so that's good. We rock both of them. We watch respawns, I guess. We won fire as well, actually, so that's a 3 cap. We hide on the tree. No, we don't. I'm so bad at this game sometimes. I'm so bad at this game sometimes. This would have been so good. We would have killed this guy for free. We might get Gale blinked, so we watch. This guy needs to not Zerg away. Let him engage on the Ranger first. Wait, Mr. Ranger. Stay over there. Take 3 damage on this guy.
I am rock and soil.
That's fine. We'll blow his first. Oh my god, he's running really quick at me.
Safe from harm.
Scared of the fresh air early. If he stays on me, then this focus again. Look how low my scrapper is. What happened, man?
I feel furious.
So dodge, full counter. Hello? Hello? What's he doing? I don't know when to go for it. Oh, he tornadoed and put the balanced stance on him right when I burst him. Why will you do this? He's down. Fresh air early. We need to move. Amazing plasma beam avoidance there, by the way. We just basically... That guy could have killed us 2 times over. Function gyro stomping. I don't actually agree with that. I'd rather rot him. We're losing sides from this heavy investment here. He's bailing. Thief moves in. Not on me, so we can do this. We're going to take no port here because the thief might retarget. No, we messed up. I'm bad at the game when I stream. Fresh air early is still very concerning to me. He should really be on the Scourge. If I play it with the Scourge a lot here, it's really good. Because... he's got weakness on the guy. Spamming dodges. Good LOS from this guy. I might be dead. What we do is we take the easy no port. Because we kind of need this. We run swells because he swapped a short bow. This guy can't hit us either. We're a ticking death right now, though. We can't really do anything. If he pushes out, we can kill him. Cluster Bomb won't hit us do that, despite the AoE. We wait, because he's trying to steal or Sword 2 or whatever. We're just going to wait here. Going to heal up. I think he's bailed out fully. Go back to the spiky, the Glassy Warrior.
Ready for more.
The evade on the Bull's Rush these days. It's such a good skill now, guys. Okay, we take that. It's a major over Zerg. I'm scared about these guys, though, because they've got a lot of pressure on them. Thief might peel out towards me, and we blow him up when that happens. So we just watch. He comes to my spot. My spot. How arrogant is that? How grossly arrogant is that? We run Comet. Comet is pretty rare. But Comet gets the gyro and his res off because it's AoE days. So it's pretty nice. I don't need to... No, he's already left. All right, that's fine. How squishy is this guy? Let's see.
Ready for more.
Wait for a dodge. Plasma beam. Good LOS from him. He's down. Warriors charging the same node, the same way again. Oh, the pull from the hollow. The scrapper, sorry. These water attunement plays. He's still balanced stance, but we wait, and then we Gale as soon as that ends. He's self-rezzing. Interesting. Gale in the middle of the... Oh, good. He had his next thing. We just hit that because we don't want him to do that too much. In fact, what we will do is after this plasma beam, we'll go here. We'll drop the flame wall on him. No, the rock! He's so low. Finish him off. Oh, damn, son. All right, now we drop the flame wall. Nice rock. Love those Rampage plays. Rampage is back, baby. Well, next patch is back. I'm telling you.
You've taken the graveyard.
The Rampage meta. I want to fight this guy. We haven't had a single good fight. We're going to rely on the dodge. No, we don't get a good dodge there. We'll try another one in a second. Oh, this is really gross. All right, well. There we go. We win.
Glory. Target identified.
Your team is victorious.
I've been having good fun trolling with a full knockdown scrapper setup. Can't kill shit, but it usually takes 2 to 3 to kill me. That's kind of funny, Wretched Eggs. I don't know whether I believe it, but it's kind of funny. Yeah, boring games, unfortunately, guys. We got some cool nice sport. I love fighting against thieves, man. I love fighting against thieves. But yeah, we take another Byzantium chest. We're almost back to 1700 after the horrible losses. So I think I'm like 30 now, maybe something. 34. Slowly but surely, we'll be back in top 10 after all these horrible games lately. We actually get a full 9 rating from that one, which is actually quite high, believe it or not. That is actually quite high. Ignore the -20s. Plus 9s, baby. One more? No, that's going to have to be it, guys, because it has been a long stream. I will host someone over, though. It's good to see you in chat, Naru. If he's going to go live, I'll host him. I've been watching him a bit recently. Who else have I been lurking on? I don't think I've hosted Ajax at all. Is he there? Georgius we hosted the other day, so I kind of want to host a Candice, but I don't know what he's like, and I don't want to host. It's a bit scary hosting PvPers, honestly. Some of them are like absolutely insanely toxic. I kind of don't want to host anyone like that, so I don't know what a Candice is like on the stream. I don't even know if he talks on this stream. I don't know what hits his streams like either. He's live. We could go with an old faithful. We could go with Doc. I don't know what he's doing. Should we go with Doc? Might be fun. Let's host Doc. So thanks very much for watching the stream, guys. Bit of lore, bit of story, bit of PvP, all the good stuff. There is a new game of the day up on Wooden Potatoes 2 right now. It's a really fun game. 40 minutes of post-match breakdown and discussion on a really cool Temple of the Silent Storm game. Honestly, you might not believe me, but it's a fun game. It demonstrates the mechanics on that match. There's a lot of fun plays and interesting things that you'll see that I think you will all really, really appreciate. No bonus clips. It's a good one, so maybe check that out if you're not too into this host. But there you go, guys. Yeah, I'll probably go watch a Candice soon as well, and we'll see how he is on his stream. But thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I'll host you over to Doc, who's playing some Guild Wars, and give him all my best. So see you soon.